Welcome everybody to the Kid Casper podcast. I'm your gracious, beautiful, blessed, beloved, and black host, the kid they call Casper. The KID in Kid Casper stands for King of Development. I'm that menace with the melanin. Reject me as I am, as long as he's still relevant. So, first off, I would like to apologize for being completely late. Do I have excuses? Not really. Do I have efforts? Yeah, we're here. Let's see. Had a couple of adult things to do. As you can hear, my voice sounds kind of crazy right now. Had a pretty crazy week. It sounds like I've been smoking cigarettes backwards. I have not been smoking cigarettes, and I have not been smoking them backwards. That would be weird and damaging to our vocal cords, and that's not how we love ourselves around here. But I wanted to make an exception because even though I myself am running late and I myself am being, professionally tardy and everything like that. I've been trying to get a hold of this creator for about the last, I would say like the last week or so. And you know what? She just, has a lot of interesting things to say. She's very, I would say, animated. She has quite a character and a charisma to her. And I was just like, something about her intrigues me. But then after talking to her backstage, I'm kind of wondering if we're related somehow, because she's that right amount of weird, not like she's that right amount of cool, but just enough weird to balance it out, which I think is cool. I don't know. So before I bring her on to the stage screen, the internet real quick, I'm gonna drop the intro real quick. Auntie Maya, I don't know if she's my long lost cousin. I mean, I don't know, but y'all will kind of decide for this. So my guest this evening, this night, I don't know, I've been randomly hearing that the time that the sun takes a nap, that's what we're calling nighttime now. That's kind of weird. But my guest this evening, as she likes to go by, well, I picked the word for her, an unorthodox teacher. She is an actress. I think you said actress. Yes, no, yes. She said actress. Educator. I guess she's teaching decolonization, which is kind of interesting. Her TikTok grabbed me immediately, and I was just like, ooh, that's gonna work. Yes, backward cigarettes. Like, cause I sound like RZA right now. Like RZA before puberty. Like I sound like RZA a tad bit. Anyway, my guest this evening is I'm just gonna call her Queen Preshona. How you doing today, sis? How are you doing?
Well. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I mean, I've been better. As you could hear, it sounds like I decided to eat the wrapper of the cough drop and not the cough drop in itself. I sound pretty crazy right now, but
I feel like it's worse in your head. You sound lovely. You sound great.
I don't know. See, I talk for a living, so I know that I sound. So I know what I sound like, and right now I sound like I'm going through puberty again, and I don't like it. You don't know what I sound like, so that makes me feel any better. Anybody else? She said I sound fine. I don't believe her. She's probably lying to me. That's beside the point. Anyway, I just wanted to first off, thank you. And I said it to you backstage, but I like to say it publicly because when I mess up privately, I like to apologize publicly. Thank you for being so understanding, because I know I wanted to have you on here yesterday. And two, thank you for still being understanding, even though I was not the best at communicating with you this week. So, appreciate you still being
good. We humans out here,
I appreciate that. My sister says I sound fine, but you know what? I'm gonna try not to psychoanalyze myself, but that's cool. So this is usually around the time as far as like guests and stuff. I allow you to kind of introduce yourself. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm working on this little introduction thing. I figured out my little written bio. It's on the website now, but speaking is another thing. And like, I can't top what you did, because you did some like magic with them words. Okay,
Oh,
but
stop it! Don't do that. Don't do me like that.
but let's see. Yeah, I'm I guess the best way to put it would probably be a non-traditional educator, like you said, unorthodox educator, and really what that means, because traditional education, not just in this country, but a lot of parts of just this colonized world, is learning about white peoples, and so to be non-traditional and unorthodox,
Did you
basically,
just say it? Like that? Did you really just say it like that?
yes,
I literally say it like that. I've been literally telling people I need a Mucinex commercial just for how I say that word. So that's
yes, that's what I said. Okay. So non-traditional unorthodox just means I don't sit here and teach you about white peoples. I teach you about us. Okay. People of color on this planet. You see what I'm saying? And that's really it. So, and that like a lot of people think that's just social studies, but it also crosses over to science. I teach a citizen politics class right now too, and just like politics and how it relates to us as persons of color. Yeah. So it's a little bit of that. Mm-hmm.
And you got a YouTube channel. I haven't got the chance to check your YouTube content out, but come on, talk to us a little bit about that.
Talk to you about it. Okay. So the YouTube channel is youtube.com/browngirlsthink. The link is on my TikTok and my Instagram. It takes you right to the playlist. I'll go to the playlist because it's nicely organized and I like organization, so you can see the history stuff in one place. You see the decolonizing science in another place. You see, let's see what else I got on there. I got African indigenous heroes in a different place, so just different content that I teach in my different classes, basically. And I just wanted to make it accessible to the world, basically. And basically, because that's it, basically a lot of times there.
Gotcha. Oh, we're more than fine. So my next question, and it's always my super intense question I ask next. And by the way, have you watched any of my podcasts?
I have. Well, so okay, the clips that you've been putting on your TikTok, I've been watching some of those. Oh. But not the full podcast.
Oh, so you have no idea what I'm going to ask next.
I know.
That's amazing. So my next intense grilling question is, if you had to pick a favorite Disney princess, what would that be?
Disney princess. Okay. So off top. Okay. Work ethic is going to be Tiana. Adventure is going to be Jasmine.
Okay.
But, yeah. Those are the two that's coming. Reading, Belle. So I'm gonna go with the first two. Work ethic, Tiana. Adventure, Jasmine. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. That's what we're going with. Okay. Yes. Awesome. And if you know anything about you seem weird, but you don't seem nerdy enough. So I'm gonna test you with this one.
Don't test me. Okay.
If you had to pick a starter 6 Pokemon to go against the Elite 4, what starter 6 would they be?
Oh, see, that's y'all's. Don't get me to reveal my age now, because I'm about to Google this right quick. I'm not even going. Okay, Pokemons. Yes. All right, here we go. I need the ones with the names. I see ones with numbers on there. Okay, Charizard is coming to mind. Should I like fake the funk on this one, or should I do my research and give you a qualified answer? Which one are you looking for? Is the silence the response? Oh, I see.
Oh no,
I got time to research it.
You are not off the hook. No. Come on now.
Hold on. I said, do I get to fake the funk, or do you okay.
Do you want me to pick the rest of your
No. I got you right now. What's good? Okay, so hold on. I'm gonna go with Doug Trio, because why not? Okay. Doug Trio. And Machamp seems like a winner right there. I need Machamp on my corner, so go ahead and
Even
do
though
that.
he skips leg day, but okay, that's fine. That's fine.
He skips legs. Oh, you know what? I mean, his legs look alright, but not like his 4 arms. But Snorlax, I feel like a lot of people sleep on this man, but I
No,
think
you didn't. No, you didn't. You think you funny. You think you funny, huh?
I didn't even really, but I did, but I didn't, But I think I'm gonna go with it. Wait, how many more do I got? You know what?
I think you're at 2. You're at 2 right now. And also, I don't want to hear that whole. I don't want to reveal my age because we don't age in dog years. So like, I don't really know what that means.
Wait a second. Hold on now. Hold on. Before we get to there, can I throw in Orangaroo?
Oh.
I'm gonna throw in Orangaroo, and for good luck, I'm just really feeling what I'm seeing out of Marowak. So that's that. There it is.
Wow. That was painful. I feel like that was the most painful. I feel like that was the most painful part of this possible conversation we're gonna have. So
I felt like I rose to the challenge on that
one. That's hilarious. So yeah. So one of the reasons I want to bring you here today, and we talked a little bit about this behind the scenes, how I'm looking to pretty much, kind of like allow different creators to like, tell their story, tell me their experience, but also talk to me about their self, but also, sharing that to the interweb, dial up, AIM, MySpace, right, all that type of stuff and everything like that. So, if you don't mind, let's start, I guess, if you don't mind, this is completely up to you. Start at the beginning for you. Tell me about a young Preshona, if you could do it so graciously.
A young Preshona. Like, a young Preshona was definitely, I was gonna say young. Okay, got that one. Man, just spring chicken, man. Like just a young brown thing in this world, figuring out, learning day by day, experience by experience, what it means to be brown in this world. Yeah. Yeah. Do you need more than that?
I mean, if you'd like to, I mean, like, I guess if take it as far back as you want to. We'll just build from there. It's up to you, Queen. It's on you. It's on you.
Okay. Do you want like childhood memories or?
I mean, like, up to you. You could tell me how you don't like people to pour your own cereal for you. I don't really know.
Oh, okay.
Like I told you before we got started. Even though this is my podcast, this is my space. I'm sharing it with you, my sister. So take it as far back as you'd like to take it far back for you. It's up to you.
Wow. Okay. So I moved to this country when I was 4 years old, and I feel like a common song. And and what I like most, I had so much. So, and then let's see, I moved to Baltimore County, and I lived with my family. We all lived under the same house. Me and my cousin, his parents, and just I think the highlight of my childhood was just, spending time with my cousins. They were everything to me. They were so cool. They were funny. They were adventurous. They taught me what it meant to go on adventures and just do random stuff, and I feel like to this day, with my students, that's what I like to, that's the spirit I like to carry on with my students. Just going on, just randomness, just going on adventures and, explore where they want to explore, so definitely my formative years have shaped me as a teacher.
Okay. Now when you say, even though you and me talked about this off camera, when you came to this country, what country are you, I guess, like, are you from? I'm saying, like, people like, where is you from? I'd be like, my mom. Anyway, if you, so you're not from here, you're not born here and everything like that, but you
I'm an immigrant.
Essentially. So where are you said that? Where are you from originally? Like, where are you and your family from originally?
Yeah, I'm East Bengali American, so I'm from what's actually called West Bengal. So I was
Okay.
born in Kolkata in West Bengal, which is in India, like the northeast side, like closer to the Nepal side, if we want some geography in there.
Okay. When did you move to America? And
Oh,
first,
you trying to get to the numbers?
oh yeah, I see.
Oh,
I like to excavate. That's a t-shirt way to say it. I
oh,
like to excavate. You know what I'm saying?
you trying to
So
age this man is right here, okay?
don't do that. First off, can everybody hold on? Can everybody before we give her flowers, but can everybody like share this video real quick? She over here talking about you trying to age me. Don't
Age
disrespect
this
yourself
man
like that.
is. I see what you're doing. Count the
Don't do
rings.
that. Oh my goodness. You are more than fine. But if you wanted to, oh my goodness, you see this dog over here?
Yes, he wants some loving.
He needs to go somewhere else. But yeah, can you good lord, can you
Yes,
sit down
yes,
somewhere?
I will divulge. I will divulge the informations. Okay, so I came to this country when I was, you ready for this? 1986. 1986. I'm old. Okay.
No, the hell you're not. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. None. I need a send it to me. I need a birth certificate. What the hell are you bathing in? Good God. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking
No,
on
you're
the internet.
good. So
On the internet.
I'm a cool 38. I actually thought I was 38 last year, but I'm 38 this year. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to send me whatever you're drinking in that weird pot you showed me, like before
Yes,
we got
my new
started. But
water
good
bottle
God.
pot.
Anyway, continue.
Water.
Continue. Gotcha.
Because water makes good skin, right? And good
Yes.
skin makes, I forget the Zoolander quote, whatever that is. My son's a merman. A mermaid. Yes, that's it. Water. What's the other question?
I said, when did you come to this country? And I guess we're just pretty much building off of there essentially. And
Yes.
my sister says you're not old, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I mean, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Cause also, like, I want to destigmatize this whole age thing, right? Cause
You better say that.
yeah, cause here's the thing. Like, my years have really brought me more wisdom. And I'm appreciative of that because I'm less of a spring chicken than I was like 10 years ago. So I gotta give it up to age and the way that revolutions around the sun work. It's great. I feel a little smarter about things.
Oh man. Oh man. All right. So you said you're from I guess like what I'm want to like understand because I want to try to tie the dichotomy of like what we deal with on the Western hemisphere to what you deal with out east. But what was life like in your home country essentially while you were being developed, refined, growing into the young persona to that helped develop you into the I'm not gonna say older, more developed. I'll say
All good, whatever words you want to say.
permeated for like wine
Permeating.
purposes.
Yes.
Permeated. Gotcha.
You said, so what was it like out there?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I was so young. I can't even like sit here in front to you that like, oh yes, the colors and the smells. And it's listen, it's I was so young, but I'm blessed to have like certain memories in my
Mhm,
like I remember like my grandfather's house. I remember the layout of it. And so when I
mhm.
went back for the first time when I was in 6th grade, and I remember I had to use the bathroom, I used the restroom, and Monty was like, "Oh, the bathroom." I was like, "I already know," because I like the layout was like emblazed in my mind. And they were surprised, because I was 4, when I was there, but I knew where the bathroom was. I knew where the kitchen. Well, I didn't know where the kitchen was, but I didn't know where the bathroom was, and the living room, the stairs. I knew all that. The backyard. I remember the backyard. I also have this other random memory of this one time that we were all in a Jeep going on an outing, and like we got to this like I think it was like a river, and across the river was a jungle. No, there wasn't a river. It was just like a jungle. We were at this road and there was a jungle. And then somebody yelled out, "Bog!" And bug means tiger, right? Like the Bengal tiger, like the royal Bengal of the Bengal tigers, right? And and I just remember everybody just like booked it, just like, you know, got in the Jeep.
So you were in it. You were near the tigers, like
yeah. So those are the two memories I have. There's actually there's one more memory that I recall, which was like these like really tall grasses. And I don't feel like I made this up. I don't feel like this is from a dream. I feel like this really happened. It was like a tall grasses and going through the tall grasses with my older brother. We don't really have a word for cousin, so he's like my older brother and another cousin. I think those are the three memories I have. And the monkeys in the backyard.
Monkeys in the okay.
Baboons. I think it was baboons climbing.
They didn't like throw poop at you or anything like that.
Nope, they didn't. I don't know. Nope. I think they just, they just like to come to the window, see if you got some foods and stuff. That's all I remember.
I mean, like fried chicken. I mean, you know what I'm saying? If you got some good, if you got, I have a sister, I'm picking on my sister real quick. I have a sister in this chat that she likes to do weird stuff. She likes to colonize her peas. She puts
what is that?
She puts mayonnaise on her peas. I'm not even bull.
Wait, sis, do you put some other spices in with that mayonnaise? Do you chipotle that mayonnaise?
No, she does not chipotle. She does not chipotle the
just
mayonnaise.
Straight hot mayonnaise. This is interesting, and this is good. This is good to you.
No, it sounds pretty traumatizing actually, but it's horribly disgusting. So that's funny. I did not know upon talking to you that your one grew up in my state. So if you can kind of talk about, even though with like your I don't want to say blanks, because you might end up discovering, or like these things might end up coming up to you in the later in life. Can you speak a little bit to the first impression of, you said you moved to Baltimore County, if I'm not mistaken? Yes. Okay. Once again, I'm sorry. So talk to me a little bit about going from India to moving to Baltimore County. Far back as you remember. I still don't believe you're 38. I need a birth certificate.
Okay.
I don't trust you. I need a birth certificate personally. I don't know. It's in the water. Anyway, you said you gotta find it. Good Lord. But yeah, talk to me a little bit about first getting here, first impressions, impact and everything like that.
Man, so where I moved in Baltimore County, okay, there was a book called House on Mango Street. Have you ever read that or heard of it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when I read House on Mango Street, that reminded me of growing up in my neighborhood. That's how it felt like. Just like these, just like washes, these like paint strokes of just different things from like, I remember the tree out. We had an apartment complex, or we lived in an apartment complex, and I remember the tree out. I remember my neighbors. I remember like being weirdly obsessed with like sharpening crayons because I liked the colors that came out, and started doing it at my friend's house, or my friend's apartment like unit across the hall. And I remember when they came in, I remember when I remember different things, like the good, the bad, the ugly, like we had an interesting neighborhood where I think people would, we lived our lives, right? So I mean, like yeah, I seen my neighbors get arrested, my neighbors' parents get arrested, we've had some wild stuff go down in our apartment, but also there was, of course, camaraderie and random little turquoise pebble stones, right, like by this like random graveyard right down the street. And yeah, and random wanted ads. We always had somebody on the run, and we always got those wanted ads in our apartment complex. And was weird. And then my mom
Probably
wanted
for
to,
child support more than likely, but
like,
yeah.
no, it was just like, this man, like, look out for this man. He escaped from somewhere. And it was like that. I remember that. And then it got to the point where it was just like some wild stuff had went down in the neighborhood, and my mom wanted to move us to a better neighborhood, so we moved like down the street. And I remember my neighbors, my friends from my bus stop was just like, "Hey, Shauna," I'm like, "What's up?" They're like, "How's a better neighborhood?" I was like, "It's better." But it's about the same. But yeah, I think folks living their lives. I don't think I didn't really totally understand like that I was poor until like meeting rich people, I think.
Oh, yeah, I feel that. So you say you grew up in Baltimore County, which means you had to be about a cartwheel from Baltimore, essentially. That's my city. I do most of my
Yeah.
we talked a little bit before we fired it up. Though I live out in the county outside of Baltimore, I do most of my work as far as like activism, ministry wise in Baltimore. Do you have any memories of Baltimore, and what can you talk to us about Baltimore? Like, what does Charm City mean to you? Is the
Oh, man.
best way to
Charm
ask.
City now, that's because that's a different that's a whole different world, right? But I
Oh
was
yeah.
yeah, I was on the outskirts, right? Like in the
Mhm.
county. So like let's say when I wrote down my address on the envelopes, it was Baltimore, Maryland. It wasn't any other city, right? So it's kind of
Mhm.
so I think you could probably explain it. It's technically the city, but it's like it's the county. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's the so yeah, I mean when I like meet my folks from Baltimore, like the city, one, there's like a connection, like undeniable connection. There's just
Mhm.
something, even if you from the county, from the city, it's just a vibe, like a Baltimore vibe that I feel like we just like gravitate to each other. So I have mad love for all my Baltimore folks, like mad love, like yeah. I think the connection that I felt with folks from Baltimore, I think the only other city that I felt like such like just like a deep connection with is Oakland, where California, where I spent a bunch of years and like really raised my consciousness in a lot of ways. But yeah, does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does in a sense. So where are we at, if you don't mind me asking? I'm trying to break down this 38 because I'm trying to reconcile this in my mind a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. So what are we like, preteen, like middle school around this time, I'm guessing, for Baltimore County in a sense? Like where are we at like age wise in this
Baltimore County was 4 until I think it'll be 15, 4 into 15. And
oh,
then yeah,
so
yeah.
you were here for a grip.
A little break,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. And then I moved to Laurel, Maryland. Um, but on the Howard County side. So I went to Atholton High School for
Okay.
like 2 years, which was interesting. And then I got a scholarship to go to college in California in the Bay Area called Santa Clara University. And
Okay.
then I was out there. Before that I got this like random scholarship to like, was it a scholarship? To go to this like debate camp in at Stanford, which was how the first time I like got exposed to Cali, and I was like, yo, what is this? Like, and yeah, and then I learned how to like write letters and apply for like financial aid and stuff, and they ended up like giving me a full tuition ride. And what? Dewan, that's crazy. That's crazy. Where in Laurel?
That's hilarious.
I
That's
got
my this is my little brother Wani.
what?
We're working on making music and stuff together. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
when I told you I'm in Maryland, I'm in Maryland. So like yeah,
Yeah.
most of my base is in Maryland. But
I
that's
was
what's
off
up.
Whiskey Bottom. That was me on the bottoms.
You said I'm from the bottoms. So let's get into a little bit of, because I remember now I lived in Laurel for about, I did a school year in Laurel when I was first moving to Maryland. Um to well, Howard County, I mean, like, it's pretty white out there. You know what I'm
It
saying?
was, but it's getting really diverse now.
It yeah,
Have
it's
you
like
seen
Columbia,
Columbia Mall?
Yep. Columbia,
Yeah.
Maryland area. It's like, if I'm not mistaken, that's the first area within the United States where they integrated like interracial
Columbia,
relationships and
yeah,
dating.
Rouse.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me now that I know for historical context, not to say historical because I don't believe you're 38. I'm sorry. So I'm really about to I'm kind of interrogating you and like interviewing you at the same time. But talk to me about what high school was like for you. Yeah, talk to me a little bit about what high school was like for you, especially in Laurel. That should be interesting. Break it down for me, Ma.
Oh man, what was high school like for me? Um, Okay, well, let's start back with this. When I was in elementary school, I went
Okay.
to a little elementary school called Kearney, and I loved it there. I loved my friends. Well, I thought they were my friends. Well, I reached out to one of them on Facebook. I was like, "What's up, CJ?" He was like, "Hello, who are you?" I was like, "Man, it's Preshona, man. It's Preshona from Kearney." He's like, "I went to Kearney. How did you know that?" I was like, "Cause I was in class with you, CJ." I was like, "You know what? It's fine. You were my friend in my head, and that's okay. I'll accept that, you know." But I loved my friends at Kearney Elementary, and then we got redistricted. Yeah, we got redistricted to go to Perry Hall Middle School. Oh, right off Gorman Road. Yep. Okay, I got you. Yeah, I was off the Whiskey Bottom by the Seasons Apartments. But
Oh, we were talking about you were saying elementary school and you were talking about your friend
yes,
CJ that
yes, we got redistricted to go to Perry Hall Middle School, which was interesting. I caught so the kids that I went to class with at Perry Hall Middle School, later on I started calling them like the Abercrombie kids in my brain. I don't know if they find that offensive. I hope they don't. But the kids in my neighborhood were not Abercrombie kids. We were the Walmart kids, Walmart and Food Line kids. But that was like our mall and our expeditions. And yeah, they would go to the actual mall, like White Marsh Mall, and they would buy things, and kids in my neighborhood didn't do that. So I remember I had a birthday in 9th grade, and I invited folks, of course, my friends from my neighborhood, and some friends from my classes, and at the time it's called GT classes, like gifted and talented or whatever, which is whatever, but that was the first time I think I saw class, before I knew what that was. It was like, I mean, it was white kids, it was white
What you
kids.
mean when you say like class, like you knew that to be class and that was the first time you see it. Like break that
No,
down.
I don't think I knew, I don't think I had the terminology, but that's the first time I realized that there's a difference, right? So there's like the white folks that was in my neighborhood and the white folks that I went to class with were two different groups of white folks. And they didn't mess with each other. They didn't,
like
you know what I mean?
social like hierarchy climate type of thing.
Yeah, because like kids in my neighborhood were poor. We was broke, you know what I mean? But and then the kids in my classes had some monies, and like so the kids from my classes didn't want to really be associated with the kids in my neighborhood, and it was apparent that like it was just it was two different cultures, so. And even with me, I think if you add on the fact that I was poor and that so I like wore hand-me-downs and shit, I had like glasses, I had like nice little stash, a nice little uni, you know what I mean? I was real thugged out immigrant out there, you know what I mean? But
oh man.
I had one pair of pine green Chucks that I loved, and I wore with everything. I didn't have a concept of matching. I just wore with everything, and that's who I was, a weird kid, But yeah, so I think like I had one friend that was in all my classes, and we had like our humors kind of like vibed, I guess. And so that's the only person I really knew. And so I would sit with her in lunch, and I remember like looking back on those memories, like when I first started sitting with her in lunch, and it was like, and she would say little things like, could you move over a little bit? Like, I don't want to be seen with you. And shit. And it was like, I didn't know. I was just, a kid. I don't know. And then I remember she was like my only friend in middle school because all my friends from Kearney Elementary was, long gone. They was at Parkville. And I remember when I moved to Howard County to Laurel, and then I called her up on a random, you know, just being like, "Yo, what's up?" You know, and she was like, "Who's this?" You know, like, why does this happen to me? But she was like, and I told her I was this Preshona, you know, she was like, "Oh yeah, you were like my little guinea pig." I was like, "Okay."
Look, I'm still out here in Maryland. Look, I go by Mr.
You gonna ride out? You gonna ride out?
Like, I ain't saying that. I just said I just want to talk to her about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and like, kind of like, you know what I'm saying, and then just like closely talk to her. I don't know,
Right.
guinea pig.
Well, I hope she grew and evolved as a person, or she became a Karen. I don't know. You know what I mean? But yeah, but that was wild. But yeah, I think, and then for me, I think when I moved out to Cali was, for me, the first time I really started seeing in color, you know? Cause I would meet kids, like, so it was sort of maybe an unintentionally segregated campus, perhaps, right? So like, it was like,
are you talking about in Cali or in Maryland?
Yeah, in Cali.
Okay.
So in Cali, there was a side of campus that was it was called Modern Perspectives. So it was like learning themes, like residential learning themes. So it was like Modern Perspectives, and there was like arts, right? And it was predominantly a lot of white folks there, right? And then on the other side was Unity. It's called Unity, which is like the multicultural dorms. And of course, like, it was a gang, like, you know, like Black, brown folks, like, in Unity, right? So I started in Modern Perspectives because, you know, I didn't know about Unity, and I didn't know about my brown, you know what I mean, at the time either. So I was in Modern Perspectives. Folks seemed like fun, and it was a diverse crowd over there, and like who I was hanging with, you know, super diverse, and we just vibed, you know. And then I think as what happened is, as I started to learn more about the world and what it was to be melanated in it, I started getting more politicized. And as I started getting more politicized, I noticed my white friends started to disappear a little bit. And then
you stopped assimilating to whiteness, and they started reminding you of your brownness, for lack of better words, and essentially.
I didn't know what was going on at the time. I was just like, all love vibes, you know what I mean? But looking back, I think that's the only explanation I can really give for it. Like, I think my politicization started when I started work. So I was working since I could work. Like 15, was that 15, I think?
I don't know what that means, because like I was hustling, like not like out here like, you know, selling like M&Ms and dime bags, but like I was working for a very long time. So I don't know what as long as I could work means.
Oh, like legitimately, I guess.
Like with a W-2, like with a W-2.
Exactly. So let's say high school, I was like I was working at different restaurants and stuff, you know. It just, you know, that was like a natural, you know, like it was like, of course you're gonna get a job, you know what I mean? Like you gotta do that, you know. Like, so I was working at this Italian restaurant for a little while. I was working at Friendly's. I worked at Hex, like back when Hex, you remember that? It's like a clothing department store. And
vaguely.
It's like pretty much like the Macy's before, I guess. Like the Macy's that didn't make it, I guess. But no offense to anybody in this Hex, you know, related. But yeah, so when I moved, when I was in Cali, of course it was like, all right, I gotta get a job. You know what I mean? Especially, and I have rich friends now. I have friends with monies, and they was going to like skiing and surfing and shit. And I was like, oh, this is what we do. Oh, okay, hold on, I gotta work to keep up with y'all. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not about to ask my mama for money so I could hang out with some rich kids. Like, what is that? Like, we never did that. Like, you know what I mean? So we went to Walmart. Bitch, we had $2 to get some fries. And I didn't even get that. My friends got that. I would watch them eat fries and hope they would stop. But so I'm like, all right, so I gotta work. Gosh. You know, so I became a sandwich lady in our cafeteria. And I tell you, like, even my friends, like I told you, my friends were diverse that freshman year. And but they were all rich, pretty much, is what it seemed like. I don't want to make assumptions, but that's when I hear ski trips and like all the things they were talking. It sounded pretty rich to me. But they were surprised that I was getting a job. They were like, "You ain't getting a job." I was like, "What? Why is that weird?" It was like, I was like, "Yeah," and they're like, "You know, I'm a sandwich lady now." "You ain't the sandwich lady." And it wasn't until I came in with my whole little gear, they were like, "Oh shit, she the sandwich lady." Like, like, yeah, man, I got it. Yes, it's called a job. Like, and I loved it, right? And I had a coworker named Josefina. And when we started getting cool, she would like teach me some Spanish, and I would I would help her with her English and stuff. And as we started getting cool, one day she asked me, like, how much you getting paid? And I was like, oh, the same as you. And I wasn't thinking, I was trying to be, I wasn't trying to be like slick or, anything like that. I was just like, I just made an assumption. I'm like, yeah, same as you. She was like, oh, okay. Okay. And another day she would ask me, how much you get paid? And I was like, oh, same as you. She was like, oh, how much is that? I was like, what, $10 an hour? And she was like, I make $7. I was like, what? And this is a grown woman. This is a grown woman with like kids. And I was like, and I was trying to, that don't make no sense. And I'm thinking, maybe, okay, you know what? Maybe she, maybe it's because benefits. Maybe she got benefits. And that's what, and I was like, wait a second, I'm a student here. I got benefits, So I'm like, nah, it was like $7.25 at the time. It didn't make sense. And I think that's the first time I got politicized. I was just like, and then it ended up being a protest on campus to raise wages. And the social justice committee had tapped me because I was the only student they knew that worked. And, I didn't really know that what was going on. I just, I talked to my boss to try to, reason with him. And I talked to the social justice committee, and, I
did not know you were activist. You got bit by the activist bug.
Yeah. And then it was El Salvador. And then it was like the whole study abroad craze, and everybody was picking what country to go to for study abroad. And I'm like, I knew I couldn't afford that shit. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna stay my ass here because I'm lucky to be here, bitch. And I talked to my mom, and she was like, I was telling her how, all these kids were going to study abroad, and she was like, well, you can too. And I was like, off what? Off whose check? Like, who's sending me abroad? She was like, you got a scholarship. Why don't you see what study abroad program can, will take your scholarship? I was like, oh shit, she right. So, so I did some research, and my brain went like Muppet Babies. I was like, when you be just kind of weird. You know what I mean? I was thinking about like the whole world and imagining. I'm like, all right, where am I gonna go? I'm gonna go. And I'm hearing all these white folks talking about they going to Italy and Spain. I was like, all right, not there. Not wherever they go, right? So I'm like, all right, where do you want to go anywhere in the world? I was like, yo, Africa, Australia, South America, Central America, right? So I'm like, and so I started researching all this stuff. I go to the study abroad office, and they're like, I was like, okay, so I'm looking at this program right here. What about this right here? And I'm just thinking the scholarship is just gonna go. And they were like, okay, Preshona, hello. I'm like, yes. And they're like, your scholarship not gonna go in any of them places. And I'm like, all right, where can I go? And they were like, this place right here. And they showed me like the brochure of the one place that your scholarship kids can like get their scholarship transferred to, and it was El Salvador. And like the pictures, I remember the colors. It just like I remember the words. It was like the little girl with the sad, the puppy dog eyes, and then, you know what I mean. It was like poverty, oppression, history, war. I was like, God dang! Like why me? Why me, God? Why I gotta be Pope all the time? Why they going shopping in Italy and Venice and all that? Why I don't need that. But I'm just saying, they doing all this. I gotta be with the poet. Come on, man. And I was like, man, like, and I remember walking back to the dorms, and I was just like, man, I was just kind of hit with this heaviness, And but all of a sudden, I got this voice. Like it was like a voice. It was like a feeling. it was a voice. I felt it. And it just told me, you go there and you find out where your family comes from. And I knew that wasn't me. I knew that wasn't me, because I don't separate myself from my family. I'm not, you know how some people be like, well, my parents are from Whoop-de-Whoop, you know, but I'm like, nah, bitch, that's all me. That's all me. It's running through my veins. That's all me. So, but that's what the voice told me. It said, you go there and you find out where your family comes from. And that's exactly what happened. I went there and it was like, you know how Malcolm talks about going to the Mecca?
Yep.
That's how that was. I started seeing so much. And that's when I started understanding, like, man, I met families that had gone through war, wild shit, like wild stories, you know? And I'm hearing all these war stories and stuff, and I come to find out that it was my government. It was the US government that paid for that, you know? And that's when I started just really waking up to, like, yo, what's going on? Like, what is going on? So I came back to the States and I just wanted to, like, learn more, you know, like what's going on with the world, yo? You know what I mean? Like, someone called me to Oakland. It was like, yo, like, it was just everything. It was just spirit. And I went to Oakland. I met my family out there. Like, straight up, like, yo, my brothers, like, you know, my godson, my first relationship, everything. I just started seeing so much since moving out to Cali. I started seeing in color, you know? So, yeah. So that's kind of my journey. And I think just since then, just kind of figuring out how to, I just wanted to, I wanted to start to piece it all together and, like, teach other kids that look like me, you know what I mean? The world that, you know, the world that we live in, you know what I mean? Like, and yeah, it just became my passion. Like, yo, I got to spread our stories, you know? And, yeah, so then I moved out here, started working at a correctional facility out here, got into case management, started working at African Center schools, and then started, you know, working on, like, tutoring and homeschool classes, met the homeschool community. And yeah, that's my story right there. You got me deep. Today.
I'm about to break down a little bit of it, because I like being able to, like, really give people the gravity of, like, what you just said. So when you went, I would say, like, when you went to El Salvador and you said, like, you realized the impact that America was having on the detriment of, like, these other countries.
Yeah.
And I said you got bit by the activism bug. I say that because I remember the first time. So I work with I don't know if you ever heard of this organization called the End It Movement by chance. Yes, no.
No, hit me.
So their task is to, like, put it into, like, human trafficking, sex slavery. We teach different, like, businesses, corporations, and, like, for instance, Baltimore, like Maryland, especially, like, if you've ever been to, like, the University of Maryland, University of Maryland has, like, the heaviest, like, cases where people get sold into slavery and everything like that. So my job, well, I don't get paid, but I would do it for free anyway, is to teach people, like, signs and stuff in which somebody is, like, about to get snatched, essentially. And I remember when I first got into it, I call it the bug, because there was a hurting in my heart that, like, I felt, and it was so immense. But then for some odd reason, I was like, I feel like it's a good reason. It's a good thing that this hurts, because that lets me know that I notice something's wrong. So not only do I want to figure out how to do something about this, I want to find out more things I can, like, try to rectify and remedy, in a sense. So when I ask, like, you got the bug, talk to me a little bit about, if you can, like, kind of break down, like, that feeling you had in El Salvador, like, that internal, like, emotions, whatever you can, like, name. Talk to me a little bit about, like, that feeling you were going through when you, like, I guess, like, noticed all of these things, like when these things were, like, making it to, like, your ocular lobes and everything like that. Break that down for me.
I think it just felt like coming to a home, right? I think, like, you know how you asked me like what are memories from, you know, from my childhood, and I was like, all right, I got these like 3. You know, it felt like kind of being in this like like not even an alternate universe of my childhood, but kind of. I mean, it felt like being in my childhood. It felt like being honestly where I was from. It felt like that. And even my mom came to visit out there, and she was like, she was tripping. She was like, "Yo, this is just like Bengal." Like, you know, like she was like, "We got the same trees. Our streets look like this." You know, like she's like, "These brown people like that." You know, like she just, you know, she was tripping. You know, they had the same fruits. She was tripping. You know, like, but and I felt that. I felt that in my soul. You know, that it just and what's wild is like when I came back. Well, yeah. So to answer your question, even like friendships, I think like they thought folks thought I was Salvadoran. It was interesting because I would be around some white folks again, like, you know, from my house and the students, and we would go to like, you know, meet different people, community members and stuff, and just like, you know, find out about them, and you know they're part of like the story, and and it was interesting because they a lot of times it happened almost every interview, and they would be talking right to the white folks, like it would be like this, like you'll say you right, I'm right there, and they're like, and so my life is, you know, and they're just going off from this, and I'm like, they see me? I don't know. And, like, and then because at first I was, am I tripping? But you know, it started kind of becoming a thing, and then afterwards, I remember this one guy. He was telling us a story and stuff, and he just then, you know, my white co-student friend, you know, left the space for a second. And he was just like, his whole demeanor changed. He looked at me. He was like, "Yeah, so you from here?" And I was like, "Oh no, man, I'm American," you know. And he's like, "You American?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." He's like, "You look Salvadoran." He's like, "You sound like Salvadoran." I'm like, "Well, that's a compliment like a mug," you know. But and so that would happen a lot. That just kind of blended in, and even like our languages were real similar in sounds, I think too. So so kind of just felt like blending in a lot of ways, and just remembering, you know, a huge part of myself. Yeah.
That
And
it
yeah.
sounds like in a lot of ways you've discovered a lot more things about yourself in foreign land. Does that
Yeah, it
make
doesn't even
sense?
feel like it's foreign land. It just feels like a part of who I am. I mean, a part of something bigger that I can't even explain. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, I don't know if it's like past life stuff. I don't know. I don't know, but it felt like how Malcolm talked about the Mecca, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful, honestly. That's pretty dope. One thing that I I picked up on as you were talking about it, and I think like for a lot of people, like when we're discussing like liberation, we're talking about, you know, activism and stuff like that. And I noticed that you used the word politicized, but I think like I want to replace it a little bit with
Okay.
with like radicalized, because I
Hmm.
feel like sometimes like, especially us being like black and brown people, like when it comes to like, you know, humanitarian work, activism and stuff like that, we always unfortunately have to go the like political route in a sense, because we can't get people to our left and our right to be like, hey guys, this stuff matters. So we've had
Hmm.
to unfortunately like lean on politics. We've had to kind of get militant in a sense. So I guess like the one thing I'm, because I like to like, you know, pick between the two when I'm talking about political matters and just humanitarian matters. Um, was there ever like a sense of, I guess, like rage with like what you were seeing, especially when we're talking about like what was happening in El Salvador, knowing like America's role in it? Was there ever like a sense of like rage in a sense that came with it?
Like, I'm making this face because I'm like in here is like the Incredible Hulk. Is yes. Yes. Like I started to really come to terms with it, you know. But it's like I feel like I got a lot of rage. I feel like tears in my eyes. I didn't know we were gonna get all Barbara Watson's on this interview right here. But yeah.
Oh man, see, in case you don't know, on the Kid Casper podcast, we touch everything, anything, essentially. You know what I'm saying? By the way, I'm freestyling all this, like I told you. So I kind of just allow like the energy and like the spirit to kind of guide me on this. But I think I'm trying to remember, this is a James Baldwin quote. I think it kind of makes sense to like what you're speaking of. You're speaking of America's history is the most beautiful, long, complex, but ugly, destructive history there ever has been. I think for people, when we're talking about the country in which we reside in, it would be a disservice to talk about all the great things of this country without realizing, for this country to be great, what had to happen, essentially. Like,
is it great? Is it great? Yeah, that's gonna be my question too. If we still have to, if we gotta shout Black Lives Matter, like Black Lives Matter, we gotta shout that, and it's still being debated. Like, is it great? Like, where's the reparations for what happened for hundreds of years? What's like, who's like, you know, what are we doing about the medical experimentations? Harriet Washington, like what's going on with these reservations?
Oh, you're talking about me getting deep, but you're getting deep. Like, oh man. So that's
is it great? Is it great?
So that's a good direction to take for it. Man, you're 38. Good God, I don't believe you. So I guess how do I want to take this? Okay, so as I've seen in my 27 years, I'm actually mad that you're 38. I don't know why I'm mad at you, but like I feel kind of like catfish and misled a little bit. That's fine. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? You can make it up to me later. That's fine. But so when we're talking about, like, for instance, like the things that you just spoke on, you know, this country not being in great and stuff.
Well, it's a question. It's a question.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of like do you my shirt says there's beauty in being it's a black shirt. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The fact that I even have to say that, it's kind of like the same thing when you're saying like Black Lives Matter, everything like that. The fact that that's even something that needs to be said. It's kind of like when you have signs in the bathroom, hey, wash your hands. Like, why do you have to be reminded to not be a dirty piece of shit? Like, but so talking a little bit about this country and its greatness. Because for me, in my 27 years of life, I feel like the last 5 years have been the most turbulent, is a polite way of saying it. If you want to use a more colorful word, that is completely up to you. But what I guess like the best way to describe it is, how would you describe for yourself as a person of color, as a woman of color, because you are a double minority in this country? Describe to me what the last 5 years was like, you know, with the 45 administration. I'm not going to say his name on my podcast. If you would like to say his name on my podcast, completely up to you. But talk to me a little bit about the impact of the last administration had on you personally, and even for you, because I don't know, for you, my view on this country, I mean, I've always had like a kind of a resentment with this country.
Yeah.
But Orange Cheeto. My
the Orange Cheeto. Okay.
Orange Cheeto. But
what's his name? Chester, right? Chester?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Talk to me a little bit about, I want to say, like, how the last administration had an impact on you, and maybe even change like your views on this great country.
I think it confirmed a lot of things that I've been finding out about this country.
I know what you mean, but for our Our
Kind of brought
lighter
it to the
hue,
surface.
our lighter hue folks that are probably gonna watch this in the future and that are probably watching now. What does that mean when it said like it's like confirmed things for you?
So, so this country is founded on racism, right? Like it's that's what manifests
Hold
this.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me hold on. Somebody's like sleeping in the back of the church. Let me just. They're like squat. Oh, I do this by the way. I throw shoes like Patti LaBelle, by the way. So somebody's like sleeping in the back of the church. They're like picking their wedgie, wiping the crust out of their eyes. Could you say that? Say that like one more again. One more again. If you could,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So this country is founded on racism, right? That's what manifest destiny is, right? Manifest destiny wasn't the belief in America being superior. It was the belief of white people in America being superior to the world, to all the people of colors in this world, right? So goes along with like, the Rudyard Kipling quote, the author of the Jungle Book, it is the duty of the white man to civilize the dark savage. When you look at the quote unquote rationale for the First Nation genocides, when you look at the rationale for enslaving African human beings, it's always taking out the humanity of folks, right? It's white supremacy. That's what I've from everything I've studied, that is the fabric of this country. Even when you look at Asian American policy, I'm about to make a video on that. Was over at I had a professor that told me it was 30 years. 30 years they didn't allow Asians in this country. It wasn't 30 years. It was more than that. I think it was at least double that from my count.
Man, you better talk. Go ahead. Go ahead. Shoot.
They didn't want no people of color. Yeah. Unless, you know what I mean? Unless to like do whatever work that they had allotted. It wasn't until after like the brain drain, like during those years that they like didn't even allow Asians in this country. You know what I mean? Because like there was like, a lot of Asian countries were like pumping up their maths and sciences, and then by the end of that, you had a lot of like these like young engineers and, health professionals and all that. And they got brain drained. That's actually the term, is what it's called, brain drain. Right. So then when they lifted when they lifted those policies,
break that down for me. Brain draining for our uneducated folk, real quick.
Yeah. So
you a teacher. So if you don't mind teaching at 11:02 Eastern Standard Time,
yeah,
I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. No problem. And I'll make some videos about this to like break it down even further and stuff, because I like to break things down in little comedy.
That's it. Take your time, beloved.
But essentially, so there were policies to keep Asians out of this country. Right? So hold on. Let's talk about this. There's a lot of okay. So of course we know Jim Crow, right? But do we know Jim Crow? Because Jim Crow is like in depth, right? There's like state by state, there's like just different wild laws, right? That like infringed on the humanity of Africans after emancipation, right? What was supposed to be emancipation, right? So there's that. There's like the depth of Jim Crow, like so the depth of Jim Crow. What that looked like.
Okay.
Yeah, what that looked like state to state, right?
Gotcha.
And then even what happened during slavery. We're talking about hundreds of years, right? Like the sorts of sick experiments. Dr. Anthony Browder talks a little bit about the experiments that were done to Africans during slavery, and it's sick. It's really sick, But when you look at that, when you look at like what happened in these boarding schools for First Nation people, like the rapes, the molestation, the gaslighting, the white supremacy, it was just they had like it wasn't uncommon for parents to get a call that their kid had died weeks ago. Like this is the fabric, So if we're talking about make it great again, where, for who, And then like with Asians, it was just, nah, you don't get to be here. You don't get to be here. Because we don't, like, the country was meant to be the country, not the land. The country was meant to be white. And you can see it's written all over their policy. That's why I say we don't need critical race theory. You don't need a theory. You have a theory. You have a theory when you don't have enough facts to make conclusion. You don't need theories. Just look at actual history. It's critical race facts. When we talk about, like, when people, oh, you sound like conspiracy theories. You know what conspiracy is? Conspiracy is the act of one group conspiring against another group. Isn't that what slavery was? Isn't that what Jim Crow was? Isn't that what the genocide of First Nation people was?
I just want you to know that I'm, like, slowly falling in love with you, but continue.
But it's just it's like we don't need any theories. We really don't. So I mean, for me, and then you start to find out, like, that what really is a democracy? Are we really in a democracy? You start finding out about crony capitalism. So you got these politicians in bed with big corporations. And then the people feeding off the media that's funded by large corporations start talking just like these corporate billboards. We walking billboards right now, saying whatever these corporations want. None of this is theory. None of this is theory. These are all facts. So if we talk about, for me, it's like I want to have honest conversations. Get that, like, fucking manifest destiny bullshit out of here. Great for who? Fuck out of here. Right? And and I think for me, as, like, being South Asian American, growing up in the States, and then finding out all of this, it's like, and I got like a book full of, like, little videos of my mom. Oh, I'm gonna make this. Oh yeah, like, but it's like when you find out that you're living in Get Out, that's what this shit's been, right? So I mean, it doesn't. Man, it was wild. I tell you, I remember my friend wanted me to, like, live in this group house this one time years ago, and it was like this social justice group house or whatever, and they were, like, interviewing me, and we were just talking about issues that bothered us, and I was talking about, at the time I was working at a jail, and so I was talking about young Black men in prison, and and going through the correctional system, and just like the cradle to prison pipeline and all of that, and this guy, he was Indian. And he looked at me, he looked confused. Like, he was like, yeah, but for us, it's like, that's not, like, our issue. I was like, why wouldn't it be our issues? And I was like, I don't understand. That's, to me, that's my brothers. Cause I'm like, what? Cause identity politics. Because I'm South Asian, I'm supposed to only care about, fuck that. Who taught you that? You see this melanin right here? You know where this shit comes from? Not shit.
Oh, man.
It comes from right here, bro. It comes from right here. Fuck you mean? I know my loyalties. I had a student one time say, yo, Mama P, why you Indian though? Why you so Black power? I said, because I know where I come from. There's your answer. That's really it. That's really it. I'm riding for my family. You can call me an ally. That's cool. You know what I mean? But I'm riding for my family. Black girl warrior, what's up?
That's hilarious. But, like, I get that though, because, like, I find the most frustrating when we're for me dealing with like my own community, I'll be like, oh, by the way, this is what's going on with like indigenous people. Oh, this is what's going on with the Asian American community. Oh, this is what's going on with like X and O and X and O. They're like, we can only focus on this. I'm like, Angela Davis had time for Palestine. Malcolm X had time for Palestine.
Speak.
The Black Panthers had time for Asian Americans and indigenous, you know what I'm saying? Our liberation, we knew because we were the minority, we don't make up the majority. So we always knew that our liberation was tied to the liberation of another person. So I get that. And sometimes it might be off-putting in a sense when you deal with some, I call them whacktivists essentially.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's performance based activism or it's conditional based activism, meaning unless it affects me personally, unless it affects my genealogy or where I come from, I want no parts of it. And unfortunately, like as you just said, not everybody is that far from the original. Like when I say like the original people, like nobody is that far. Like we all started somewhere. So we call Africa the motherland. We all have to acknowledge each other as brothers, sisters, siblings for our non-binary folk. But I feel like when we forget that is when we end up staying ensnared and staying in bondage because we get caught up in this, well, I gotta go and get mine, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely understand your frustrations that come out of you when you speak of that.
Yeah. 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 I gotta take a breath on that one. You know?
You're good. You're good. You're good. So one of the things, and I know you messaged me about this, but you, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about it. Now give you a little bit of not so much a background story, so I'll catch you up to like the last 3 to 4 weeks of my life. Mentally, emotionally, I have not been tuned into like what's happening in the world, mainly because it's just so much death and that deeply impacts me. I'm an empath. So
Me
like
too.
when I see like a hungry kid on the street, I will like go home and cry about it and listen to R&B music
Yeah.
and like and eat chicken wings.
Right.
Like I'm like that. So when I see like death and disparity, it puts me in a bad place. So
Yeah.
lately, I just don't know of like what's been happening. I don't know of like any hope. I pray to God there is no new hashtags or anything like that. But you're probably about the 10th person I've seen on TikTok talking about, I think Pipeline 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Line 3. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you wanted to kind of talk about that. Just for me specifically, because I don't like to speak on stuff I don't know, because I don't want to give out any misinformation. But talk a little bit about Pipeline 3 1. Um, I don't want to say why is it important to you, because as you just disclosed, you know, liberation for everybody is part of the fight. But talk a little bit about Pipeline 3 and I guess like your thoughts on like what that comes with. Cause I'm still doing my research and stuff, but I know you're a lot more farther ahead as far as like what's going on over there and everything like that.
Barely. I mean, I'm still learning, right? We're all still learning, right? Like
Mhm.
I just recently found out about it. That's what, if you get like the most recent video on the TikTok, I kind of like to break things down, like demystify things in real simple, like what would this look like in my house, you know, kind of
Mhm.
thing. And like essentially, from what I'm piecing together, and correct me if anybody has other information, but there are pipelines going through indigenous treaty territory, right?
Mm.
And which is already what the like, okay, you know, but these these pipelines are old and they're corroding. One of them is line 3, right? And it's like there's a likelihood that there's like just a lot of, we don't even know what's going on under them things, but it's just they've been asked to, the company has been asked to clean up their mess, to clean up line 3. And so essentially they were like, all right, yeah, we'll replace it. It was like, all right, bet. Yeah, replace it. And by replacing, they meant bring a whole nother pipeline and put it in another corridor of indigenous treaty territory, and
Mm.
not touching, not cleaning up this like rotting, this potentially highly like rotting line 3. right? So you have frontline water protectors, First Nation folks and allies up there, like being like, nah, like you're not putting this new line down. One, this is like breaking treaties, and then two, like, no, you're not gonna keep polluting this world like that. And what's wild right now is what's going on is that people, there's a lot of shadow banning that's happening from posting things on line 3 about line 3, and that's the truth, and that's the thing we gotta wake up to, right? So, like, the thing is, we live in a corporate run world, right? We live in a corporate run world. So once one corporation feels like other corporations might pull out of funding or whatever because they're like the people are starting getting too political and they're stepping on corporate dollars, then you get things like shadow ban. I tried to promote. I wanted to prove the theory. I wanted to promote the post on Instagram, and I got a whole message that said you can't promote any post that could have any social influence on any influence on social issues. Bro, what? But we talking about influencers, right? We talking about influencers, so it's okay if they influencing like like fashion, makeup, products, corporations, but it's not okay if they're influencing like environmental politics, like human rights. That's not okay.
Man, my community is like blowing my phone up. They're like, oh, that's because like corporations have their hands in this pipeline. Like,
exactly.
Like actively. They're like, oh, no. You mess with my money right now.
Right.
So I can't get this pipeline done because y'all messing with my chips. But continue.
That's it. That's it. And I think and it's like I feel like it's just these wake up calls that it's just like the world that we're living in, right? It's like because at the end of the day they run in some dimension, but maybe the material dimension, or they feel like they are, and so I mean, so yeah, then the shadow banning happens, and just all the things. So I mean, it's wild, right? Because it's this game we play. Right, because the thing is, a lot of people aren't even watching TV like that anymore, and that's where a lot of corporate advertisements were, right? So right now we got a lot of power, being on social media, and now that they're picking up on this, they're honing in, they're tightening up. Like if you notice, like the with the shadow banning on TikTok, then on Instagram you can't promote any social justice posts or whatever. And then it's they said on the thing, they said you have to identify who your donors are. I'm a civilian. I don't got no donors. You talking about I'm paying for this, but they don't even give you a space to put like who you're like to put that I don't have any donors. They don't even give you that. It's like, so I mean this is interesting. It's but I think what we got to do, like how your friends, I'm flashing with your friends right now because we need that wokeness. We need to understand what this really is, right? Even when we're talking about what's going on with these vaccines, right? I know it's a hot word right now. It's hot. I get it. But the thing is, we can't be comfortable. We can't only be comfortable examining history from the past and not look at history in the present.
That's an interesting thing to bring up. So I know of people specifically, especially within like Black and brown communities, that do not trust, for instance, like let alone like these corporations that like pretty much came up with these like bartender drinks, which are the vaccines essentially. But they do not, for instance, like Pfizer used to test on Nigerians, you know what I'm saying? They used to go to Africa and literally like test on people and stuff like that. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Moderna. Moderna is
kind of the lead right now.
Huh?
Kind of the lead right now in the vaccine game.
Yeah, they have the least, I would say, problematic stuff, but then you find out the people that are sitting on top don't care about civil issues, especially when we're talking about pro LGBTQIA plus rights and everything like that. Can you find a place, not so much like, because I mean, I think it's one of those, like, for me personally, it's like a dealer's choice, but I just want everybody to be safe. Can you empathize with why people, especially like within like the black and brown communities, do not trust and are weary of vaccines during this time? Not to be irresponsible by any means, but like, can you like, I guess like rationalize or reconcile like why that is, just like as you just brought up?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking, so one book that I would highly recommend that I've been gaining stuff from is it's called Medical Apartheid by Harriet Washington. And she documents the long history of medical experimentation on Black bodies in the United States. And it's a long history. Um I mean, of course, the one that always comes up to mind is the syphilis studies, but there's more. There's more. I'm not even about to misquote. I'm about to pull something up, for y'all. But if you give me a little hot second, feel free to make some commentary while I pull this up.
No, you need me to talk? You need me to? I
Yeah.
can't really like. I used to be able to hit high notes, but it
Yeah.
sounds like I just got done smoking cigarettes, so I can't do that. But I think like the issue in which like I've learned is when it comes to, because we know in like historical context that like people have like, when like girls go missing or like children go missing and they look like us, they make sure that they're not found. And then what ends up happening is, I don't know if you heard about this like study like years ago where they found like a bag. You saw like people throwing like bags full of like organs over like hospitals and stuff like that, crazy stuff. And it was it was a proven thing that like people used to like you try to test our organs to see why there is, if there is some type of superiority to everything to our
Yeah.
genealogy.
Right.
Which is why, like, for instance, like I remember growing up, and if I misquote him, please let me know, Unc. But one of my uncles was like, don't put down your organ donor because they might let you die if you're on critical
Yeah.
condition.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
You
And
saw
I was
Hidden
like,
Colors?
yep.
Yeah. 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 I
Yeah.
stopped too. To be honest. Yeah.
And all that kind of plays a part into it, because it's like all that kind of plays a part into like what we're talking about is for like you don't really want to so much preserve a life but like harvest it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the like the scary part for like, especially for 38. I'm sorry, I don't see it, but then again, we don't age in dog years, so that's fine. But but I think that's what it kind of breaks down, at least like I'll call it a fruit of generational trauma in a sense, when we're
Yeah.
talking about people that are not trusting these different like corporations that do play their hand into like medication and stuff like that, because these are the same people that are, it's like, oh, we're taking care of you guys, but we're also you know what I'm saying, we're also playing part into like the crap that's happening
Yeah.
in the world within our own land. To the first, I love that you say the first. How do you describe indigenous people? First Nation.
First Nations.
I I
Yeah,
I
I learned that actually from, I think it was called Native American Comedy Slam, and he said, I don't like the term. It was a comedian on there. He said, I don't like the term for Native American. He said, because we're older than America, far
Ooh.
older, like 14 to 20,000 years older, actually. So yeah. So I've been. I mean, of course, you want to. I use the name that people call themselves by, but as far as like a blanket term, I've been guided to use First Nation.
It's I get it, because it's like it goes back to like the decolonizing your mindset,
Yeah, yeah,
because what might seem normalized to you can be triggering and traumatic for somebody else. So I understand it. Just so when you said it, I've never heard that. But then again, I don't really have a lot of indigenous people representation in my life. So I was like, oh, nice, nice, nice.
what I've been starting to do also is like subscribe to the hashtag decolonize, and folk like I've been building community from there, for real, for real, on Instagram, also on TikTok, but more so on Instagram right now. But and I think on TikTok it's like indigenous TikTok, and I'm following folks from there and building community. But to speak to the medical experimentation, I pulled it up because I didn't want to misquote anything, because this is too, it's too grave to, you know what I mean?
Oh, you good, Queen, you good. Take your time, time.
So here's a couple from Harriet Washington's book, Medical Apartheid. So in the 1800s, you had James Marion Sims. He was a doctor and former president of the American Medical Association, who tested on Black babies and women, depriving them of proper care and anesthesia, leading to the deaths of many. His aim was also to shield whites from the same excruciating experimental procedures he was running on Black patients. Right? This is the former president of the American Medical Association. All right. Of course, we know about I think many of us know about the syphilis experiments, right? Where from 1932 to 1972, that's 40 years. That's a lot of different presidential administrations, right? And you had a group of Black men with syphilis who were told that they would be treated for bad blood, and instead were examined to see how the disease progressed for research, right? And you had some top medical institutions that were responsible for that. I think the CDC was involved in that as well. I want to, I'll follow up on that with the exact. I think it was the American Medical. I don't want to misquote anything, but yeah, there were some top medical associations affiliated with that. So we have in the 1950s, you had Black Floridians. Folks from Florida were deliberately exposed to swarms of mosquitoes carrying yellow fever and other diseases in experiments conducted by the Army and the CIA in the early 1950s. Right? This is all from this book. And this was also posted in an article on the Washington Post as well, addressing like some of it's not even main, it's just like a series of things that Harriet Washington brought up. So when people get to asking, what's your sources? Yeah. The corporate ones, and if that does something for you, and this book. One more I'd like. I mean, it's endless. It's endless. In 1945, you had Eb Cade, an African American trucker, being treated for injuries received in an accident in Tennessee, was surreptitiously placed without his consent in a radiation experiment sponsored by the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission. So these are top name institutions. These are federal institutions, right? I'm gonna just throw one more. Throughout the 1950s and 60s, Black inmates at Philadelphia's Holmesburg prison were used as research subjects by a University of Pennsylvania dermatologist testing pharmaceuticals and personal hygiene products. Some of these subjects report pain and disfiguration even now. Right? You had 1960s and 70s, Black boys were subjected to sometimes paralyzing neurosurgery by a University of Mississippi researcher who believed brain pathology to be the root of the children's supposed hyperactive behavior. I mean, it's endless. It's endless.
Yeah, and I can speak to that a little bit because, like, I don't really like, I guess for me, and you probably understand this as a teacher, I don't like when people are like, oh, don't mind them, they just have ADHD. I'm like, I don't think they realize how stigmatizing that is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when we're talking about like black and brown children, because the minute you say a kid is like semi energetic or semi problematic in a sense, you end up spotlighting them in a sense.
For big pharma.
For big pharma, or you end up spotlighting them. It's like, well, they just need a little extra attention. And what ends up happening is, because my mom works within the school system, you get these school resource officers. They pay attention to them a lot more. What happens when you watch somebody for a long period of time, eventually they're going to be human and they mess up. When they mess up, reinforcements isn't that far away. What ends up happening is they get more and more intention, more and more negative experiences with law enforcement, thus opening the door to the prison school pipeline. When people think that this is a joke or this is coincidental, it's not a coincidence. It's by design, unfortunately. And I don't think people realize that all these things were placed, meticulously to pretty much get the outcome what we have. I mean, like you said, you went from, I think you said correctional facilities to now you're in school, so you see it firsthand, essentially.
See, with the ADD?
Well, I mean, like as far as like you see, like you could probably see like where people like tend to like mark students, and then you could see where it can start from the classroom to the prison yard in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, like I work at African-centered institutions now, so I mean, blessedly, I don't see a lot of that. We do a lot to protect our kids, you know. So I'm privileged, you know what I mean, to not be able to, to not see what's going on in these public school systems, you know. We do a lot of protecting, but a lot. I mean, sometimes like we'll have to do some disciplining, like listen, let me talk to you right quick. Hey, talk to you right. Okay, we're not gonna do what we're not gonna do, but yeah. We used to when I worked at the correctional facility, actually my co-teacher, my friend of mine was she was the one that actually put me on to like just the politics of big pharma. And we were showing it to some of our students who were locked up, who were detained. And one of our students, after watching, we watched this documentary on it, and afterwards he told us that he got off his meds. And we're like, oh snap, and like, we were kind of working with him and talking him through it. Like, okay, like there's like, there'll probably be some like a recoil, like, and he was like, I don't care, I'll put up with it. He's like, I don't know how anybody gonna stay. Why would anybody stay on their meds after watching that? After finding out the truth. And I was like, but I mean, but listen, but no, I also had a friend who, I think she was bipolar. I was in college at the time. It's like before, we had more mental health, like, education, which is still minimal, very, very minimal. But, but she was on some meds and she stood by it. You know what I mean? So this is not like any disrespect to anybody who, if you got vaccinated, if you prefer medication, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no disrespect to that. And I think that's the thing to me that I just want to, like, I think it's important for us to know the politics behind things, and and understand the truth behind things for us to make our own choices. But at the end of the day, we have to be able to make our own choices. And I have to respect your choice for your mind and for your body.
If you want it so that we make the consent, essentially, we make the intentional effort to do something about our emotions, opposed to allowing somebody else to make the decision for us to have our emotions do something about us. Essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And then, and not just fall for the rhetoric, right? I've had, like, man, how many times I've gone to the doctor's office and they'll always ask mental health, what are you doing? And they'll always try to push meds. Always. Like,
I literally just what did I do? I'm old. I was telling you this before. What did I do? There was something I did with my old self. Oh, I fell on marble. You know what I'm saying? So I'm super skinny. I don't have a butt. I have this extended back where my legs meet. And I don't know if it was that time. Anyway, so I went to the doctors, and I went and got checked up at like the urgent care or something. And they were like, oh, I can write you a script for narcotics or anything. You want some oxys or anything? I was like, I'll take some ibuprofen 500s. I'm a former addict, so I don't need that stuff. Like, I'm good. But I noticed that that's the wheel. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, you'll be back, but it won't be for this back. It'll be because you got the shakes or you got this, that, and the third. I know that. Yes, it's an extended back. I talk about it all the time. It is. Like, do you understand? Do you understand how hard it is to buy skinny jeans and there's still air in them? Like it's it's not funny. Like when I'm wearing joggers and it looks like that the air in my pants is going for a run, that's besides the point.
No.
But yeah, I think that's super important when we're talking about not only being numb to like what's happening around us, but what's happening within us as well.
Yeah.
Because I think, especially for us as people of color, we need to, yes, medicate ourselves in a way like, there needs to be some type of remedy to go against the tragedy that's going on around us at all the times, but we shouldn't allow somebody else to make those decisions for us. And I think that's what you're pretty much, well, what we're both essentially alluding to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make informed decisions. And an informed decision doesn't mean reading corporate propaganda and you know what I mean? And thinking that's being informed. It's not. That's not.
Yeah.
That's like watching a billboard. That's like looking at a billboard and be like, I'm informed. Yeah, no, you're not. You're not. So so I think that's like for me, this video that I'm working on, which I'm getting ready for like, some of the trolls, you know what I mean, that might appear from it. But my only intention is to share the knowledge that I've gained about what propaganda looks like, you know what I mean, and identifying it so that you can make an informed decision for your body, and again, I'm not going to bully anybody into doing anything, whether I think corporations are making more, whatever. I just want information to be shared, and you make the decision. And for me, I respect whatever decision you make for your body. Just don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do, because I know my body. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was the same type of bullying when it came to the votes too. When it was like, if anybody's voting third party, so you voted for, because you don't say the word, you vote 45, you want 45 to be 42, you want, like, nah, it's not. I said I'm voting third party. That means I'm voting third party. It means I believe in the candidate from third party, right? And it's like, but it's just so much bullying. It's so much bullying because people buy into corporate rhetoric, and it's just not necessary. Because if we're saying this is a democracy, right? If that's what we're saying, right? Then allow people to make choices, right? That's what it is. So, as long as these are informed choices, that's the most important thing,
Absolutely. So we talked about this a little bit before we got started. You had your I don't know if you have it on hand with you. But while we're on the I guess the subject of, I don't know what's the word, human technology. We're talking about like herbalism and stuff like that. We're talking about what's the word? Help me out, Teach. You got to help me out. I don't know the word for it right now.
Wait, back up, because I was trying to look up this source. But go ahead.
We're talking about like human technology. We're talking about like herbalism and stuff like that.
Holistic. Okay, got it.
Yes. Talk to me, because you were talking to me a little bit about like what you do to like 38. Yo, Amethyst. She says she is 38. Do you believe it? I don't know. I don't believe it.
Like, why she look like my TikTok friend? Is that my TikTok friend?
Probably your TikTok friend.
Okay.
But so what does, because you said you don't trust big pharma, and we talked a little bit before we got started about like taking care of yourself like holistically and everything like that.
Well, I don't want to say I don't trust big pharma. I just
I mean, I don't, but
yeah. I mean, I would say I think it's just important to understand that profit is the motive first and foremost.
Amethyst, I don't trust you either. I need a birth certificate from you and from, but anyway, I'm not trying to age y'all. I'm just, I don't look like y'all just look like 20 something. Like, my bad. It's a compliment.
The sun be kind to us, my friend. The sun be kind,
You could look like chewed up shoe leather, but you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, I'm like 38. What the hell? But so talk to me a little bit about what it means to take care of yourself holistically. What does that look like?
Ooh, what a question.
Yes, ma'am.
No, sorry. Please finish your.
That was pretty much it.
Huh?
That was pretty much my question.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, I gotta say no. I was just writing about this today, man. Like, it's such a personal process, man. It is such a personal process. I mean, years ago when I was doing like these we called them One Love events to like spread awareness, of anything that divides us as a community. We do these like bi-monthly events. I would make these little videos and we like have like safe dialogue around it, and so holistic health will come up a lot, right? And so I was starting to do all this research and putting it out there, putting it on the site, and I wasn't aligned to it yet, and it didn't hit me until I was just like, I was finding all this research, like, oh, this is so cool. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, and it didn't even hit me that I'm not even following this. Thank you, Amethyst. We young out here, we young, but we wise. You know what I'm saying?
I like to call you seasoned.
Right, seasoned. I like that.
I got
So,
you. I got you.
Man, what we talk about?
You were talking about how you were like, I guess, like getting in tune to like holistic
yes.
healing and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I'm writing all this stuff and I'm compiling this information, but I don't really know what that looks like yet. I was still eating fast food at the time, right? And for me, I got to this point where I was getting hit with autoimmune disorders. Hit with them. It was scary. It was scary. But it was, I think it's wild because now since then it's just like it's different. Right? It's like back then I would wake up, rush out to not be late to work and still be late to work. But no breakfast, like keep working until like lunch, no lunch, have like a late dunch, I guess, or something. I worked at a correctional facility at the time, so I would eat with my kids, the dunch for Leonard, I don't know, and like but I would eat with my kids, right? In the cafeteria. And then I started telling myself, all right, well, then I'm gonna catch breakfast with them too, because there was some kids I didn't get to see, but only in the morning. So I started having breakfast with them, and so breakfast, lunch, and then I would stay after school, and do these programs, and so I would have dinner with them. It's at the correctional facility, the detention facility, and eventually it was like I think about a couple months of doing that, my tummy started acting funny. I went to the doctor and she was like, yeah, you got
not your tummy.
Right, my tummy. My tummy, to be very specific in medical terminologies, okay? And and my doctor said, like, you got acid reflux, Oh, for real. Yo, it's real. It's real. Yo, listen. Okay, so you know what? So y'all just empower me to talk about this journey, right?
Talk your talk, queen. Talk your talk.
Yo. So she told me, she was like, well, what have you been eating? She was like, you been eating some like greasy foods lately? And I'm like, no. And she was like, well, what you been eating? I was like, no, I just been eating with my kids. She was like, your kids at the correctional facility? I was like, mm-hmm. And she like a meal? I was like, I ain't breakfast, lunch, dinner. She's like, you're having jail food 3 times a day? And I was like, I mean, if you want to call it that, I mean, and this is the same providers that are providing for schools out there though. Right. And my question was, she was like, yeah, stop doing that. I was like, well, if I gotta stop doing that, why are they not stopping? Why they getting fed this stuff? And they would be getting fattened up. Like my kids were coming in skinny, leaving out like healthy. I mean, well, I don't know about healthy, but they were coming out, with some meat on the bones, Yeah. And so I had to stop eating the jail food because it was, 100%. Oh, 100%. 100%. Yo, I was watching this holistic doctor saying that we don't have a healthcare system. We have a sick care system,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, say that again. Say that
Yeah.
one more again. One
We
more
address
again.
we address things when it's a problem, right? But
Mm,
then there's like we're ignoring the nutrition that leads up to the problem, right?
mm.
And he was breaking down this chart that was saying that a lot of times doctors will say you're healthy if you don't have any problems. But really, he showed this scale. He's like, you're probably most likely you're not healthy. You're probably like borderline unhealthy, but the symptoms haven't shown up yet. You know? And so once it shows up, then it's like, oh, now we got a problem. Who were they asking what you were eating? What you were doing with your body? Cause now I'm telling y'all, like it's such a personal process. Man, listen, okay, so I'm gonna say this. There's a book called The Alchemist. I highly recommend The Alchemist. And yeah, it's like to me it's like a manual for following your dreams and just being in
You
tune with
said The
like
Alchemist?
The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Yeah, it's a short read too. It reads real quick, but there was this part where the main character was talking to the wind.
I'll drop it in the description in the chat so they can
Okay,
check it out.
okay, yeah, yeah. He was talking to the wind. Yes, right. Okay, have you read it yet, Kiana? Listen, there was a part he was talking to the wind, and the wind was conversing back. Oh, I got you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whenever you do is gonna be your time to. That's just what it is, you know. But yeah, and the wind was talking back, and there was even a part where they were saying like, "Speak to your heart." What's your heart telling you? And I read that, and it was the first time I ever I ever read anything like that or thought about anything like that. And when I'm telling you, y'all, that's what it's been like to like become more in tune with my body. Like it's like a child. Like, you know how like sometimes you like, I don't have children, but I teach children. But like, sometimes you just get to know a child, and even if they're not saying something wrong,
Yeah.
or something on their mind, your body does that. Your
Mm.
body does that. It's incredible. Yo, listen, do you know how many times that like I could feel that, okay, something feels slightly off. And I would even have a craving for like orange. I want an orange. I want an orange. It would be a craving. And I eat the orange and then I feel better. Right? Like your body speaks to you. We've just been feeding it with so much like stuff that it's not even like super familiar with, that like it's harder to hear it now. But when you start to like listen to it, it talks to you. Like it'll be times where I'm like, I love me some fried food, and I'll have something in my body just be like, I need something. I need something. And it'll like, I need some fresh greens. It speaks to you. Like, of course, of course, like, when you get thirsty, of course, you got to drink water. If you know that. A lot of times I've heard so many people say, I'm thirsty, I need some juice. Now you need some water, right? But it's so much processedness inside of us that's what we think, right? But when you really break it down, it started like hitting me like this, right? Like when I had a housemate that had COVID, and we all got on quarantine, and a nurse came in to like, check up on us and see if we're all good. And she gave this one advice that I've literally found in my nutritional research. She said, drink plenty of water, fluids, fruits, vegetables, stay away from any mucus causing foods, which are meats, dairies, and heavy starches. And and I've heard this and I've researched this for so long. When I was doing our homeschool curriculum, I find the same exact thing. I thought I was going to find so much conflicting information. I didn't. It said the same thing she just said. Same thing. Because the thing is, the things that we need when we're sick are actually the same exact things that we need when we're not sick. It's upkeep. Right? I started thinking about things like, yo, think about this, right? Cells. When we were growing up and we learned about cells, it was just so abstract and not like cells. You make this little styrofoam ball and it's just like, it's completely irrelevant to our lives, right? But yo, we are made of trillions of cells, and they are living beings. They are living beings inside of it. Like we have a universe, like a world of beings, and their primary job is to keep us alive, yo. Like beings. We are an aquarium of living beings. Can you imagine going to an aquarium and putting some soda in it? Would you do that?
What kind of
Cut it out.
like Dr. Pepper or like I'm so kidding.
But it's just like when anybody who like has an aquarium, it is, proper, like, the lighting, how often you change out the filter, like, you got to feed it the proper foods, you got to pay attention to any time they start to look kind of slow, right? So that's Casper. but it's the same thing for our bodies, yo. This is our aquarium right here, right? This is our child. This is our everything. It's our world. It speaks to us, So, I mean, that's really it. That's what I've been finding out, and it tells you, like, so right now, my diet is different. It's so different than it was like 10, 20 years ago. Like right now, let's say, and I've been working to figure out what that routine would look like for me. And, and that's personal for each of you. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, cause I still do move fast and I work a lot. So I've been using this like super green powder. I could show it to y'all in a second, but it's like the super green powder from Whole Foods. But when I have time, then I'll make like an actual smoothie, like with greens and, fruit, lots of greens, cause that's cellular food. Like your body loves the shit out of greens, loves them. Like your liver loves greens. Like, look into even things like traditional Chinese medicine. Yo, yeah, it's like our largest organ, right? It's our largest organ. And even for real, I still have like your skin will even tell you certain things. Like sometimes when I get angry, I feel like the acne pops up for me. Like I think it's angry. I'm starting to like kind of journal on that, like just paying attention to like, to little things. It was like years I was getting, like that same time I was getting the autoimmune disorders, I was getting mad styes, like back to back, left and right, sty. I had to get surgery on one of them, right? And there's also another book I recommend called You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And she talks about like the energetic context behind it. It's really dope. But essentially what she's saying is when we have like physical ailments, essentially it's a manifestation of something energetic. So it started first with something energetic and then it started manifesting in the physical. Also look into traditional Chinese medicine. They have some really interesting philosophies. Like they'll say things like if you crave, your cravings tell you like your energy needs and which organs are kind of calling out too, because your organs are like living beings, right? Like because they're made of cells, right? So for example, TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, says if you crave a lot of fried foods, that's your liver, and your liver holds the emotion of anger. So are you frustrated about something? So for me, I'll still do fried foods because I believe in balance. I'm a schmegan, but I'll do fried
Hold
food.
up. No. Okay, so I have a sister in California. She's going to UCLA right now. She's, she took her eyes off Jesus. She's one of those vegans now. What in the hell is a schmegan?
A schmegan.
What is a schmegan? What is
It's kind of what you make it to be, because I'm not really that good with like with too many limitations. I'm just not really that good with that. And for me, I grew up with a lot of very cultural foods, right? Like curries. Gotcha. So I mean, like whether it was like fish or chicken or goat, you know what I mean? So if I'm seeing, if I'm seeing my family, if I'm seeing my auntie and they got some curry, I'm gonna eat the curry. I'm gonna eat it. You know what I mean? That's connected with my childhood, nostalgia. That's my love. That's my, you know what I'm saying? So, and in times that I was going like vegetarian and vegan, I found that these are like conflicting moments. Oh, I'm cheating. You know what I mean? But my friend told me this thing, my friend Tay, she inspired me a lot in a lot of ways. And she said, when you go into a room that's dark, do you take a bucket to take the darkness out, or do you turn the light on? So like, focus on what you're putting in. Don't focus on what you're taking out. And that's really it for me. So to me, Shmigahood is focusing on what I'm putting in. So I put in more greens. You know what I mean? I put in more greens, more fruit, more water. You know what I mean? I carry this, like, I mean, this is like the smallest water bottle. I used to have the big joint, but I can't find them anymore. But like water on me, like at all times, right? Like if I get juice, it's just for the taste. That's it. I'm not guzzling. You know what I mean? But man, yeah. So like water, greens when I wake up, nuts, greens when I wake up, grains. Like I have these like organic granola bars that kind of help me like do my workouts and stuff. And then I have this organic like vegan protein shake thing that I do afterwards if I need it. And then for like post workout. And then usually it'll be like a big salad. It'll be like at least 2 greens a day, like my green smoothie in the morning and like a big green salad with whatever the fuck I want to put it in there, right? Like pretty much, because you know what I mean. But sometimes it's some fried stuff because I like some fried food. You know, that's what it is. But I just try to balance it out, put different colors in if I can. Or here's a simple one. A simple one, like if you don't have the time, you know, or the funds to like get all the different colors, because they say the healthiest meal has like different like all the colors of the rainbow in it. Let's say if I've been getting the kale, or like whatever the greens, the mixed greens, and then there's like the baggie that's like the organic baggie of like shredded lettuce and like it has carrots and cabbage and stuff in it. So I'll put those and then just box it, just food prep. And then I put like chickpeas. I like a little vegan shreds. I know people feel their ways about like soy protein and stuff. It works for me. You know, I reduce, you know, I try to reduce it, but it works for me, but you know, it might not work for you. So, you know, it's really just paying attention to your body. But these are the things, like 2 big greens a day and plenty of water throughout the day. Nuts. Yeah. That's my thing. And if you have a craving, this is me. If you have a craving, do not deny your craving. That's me. I don't deny my craving. I just coat it and lather it with many greens, and then you know it takes it out my system. You know what I
mean? So I have this
dry fruit also. Like, okay, that's it.
Gotcha. I have this all women's like people of color like group chat. I mean, they're pretty much like my sisters. So I heard all of it can be, and sometimes it sucks for what I'm about to tell you right now. So I love Taco Bell, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what part of the animal kingdom is actually in that food. I don't know. They get on me all the time. They're like, Casper, you got to eat healthy. I'm like, bruh, with my metabolism, right? Like I lose weight farting, so it just kind of happens. Like I don't really like. They're like, well, what if your tummy hurts? I'm like, I don't have one.
Yeah.
So like I would have to have one of these things for them to hurt. But
you got a tummy, you got a stomach, you got
I mean, it's how do I say this?
I'm not saying you got rolls. I'm saying you got the organs.
I would say when it comes to my stomach, the cavity in my abdominal region where I store food. Right. I just stop by when I'm depositing stuff, and it does what it does to withdraw. That's it. I don't really have an issue with that. But because for instance, I have bipolar 2 disorder. So for me, I've had to, over the last 2 to 3 years, I've had to realize what foods help my mood.
Real.
Which is like, because I don't take medicine. I used to be on antidepressant and anxiety medication that just made me numb to life, made me feel like a robot. But I never realized how much Western food, greasy food really plays a part into literally, I guess, like how impulsively I would like react to something if something comes up. If I had to like embrace something in case something crazy comes up, or it just literally determines how I feel when I wake up in the morning. Like if I'm feeling sluggish, if I have the energy. And the thing about like bipolar 2 disorder is if I'm feeling sluggish, oh, I must be tired. Got to get some sleep.
Yeah.
But if I just slept for like 9 hours, sleeping for another 5 will trigger an episode. So I have to, find ways to caffeinate my body, but without coffee. I need to find ways to feed my body, but not with 5 Crunchwrap Supremes.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm
So
about to show you this one thing. No, keep going.
but so that's really been, I would say, interesting to me in my, I would say, nutritional journey in a sense, because like the stigma that comes with like with like black and brown like dietitian choices, the fact that it's already by design that they put like these fast food restaurants in our communities and stuff, so they don't want you to sustain like your health or anything like that. But then we, even when we're not around these areas, will look for these like different restaurants and stuff. So I've been trying to do that. One thing that has helped me is I have to find this book. There's this one book that I put my mentor on. Where is it at? Where to go? Me and this man text too much for somebody that is married and has a wife. I don't have a wife, but I text too many married people. I don't know.
You're a writer.
Yeah, something like that. But I think people don't even realize, like, even like, and I felt the need to like also say that, because like I didn't want anybody to like listen to everything you just said and be like, that sounds like cap. And it's like, no, literally for me, if I eat something the wrong way, or I eat something that makes me feel good momentarily, people don't realize the long-term effects it has on me. Whether it might make me feel good in that day for craving wise, but it might jack up the rest of my week.
Right.
So it is important to know what you're putting into your body, because what you're putting into your body fuels your body, and what fuels your body determines on how your mind's going to feel, and your mind literally makes all of this move. So if you're not even careful and tactical about what you're feeding your body, then you're making it harder to what's feeding your mind. So it's it all plays a part. It's all encompassed for sure. So I'm not only picking up what you're putting down, but I'm backing you up at the same time. I got you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, 100%. And you know what I've been like working on with my kids too, and just like how I'm learning how to process all of this stuff, right? Is that okay? So there's your taste buds, right? And there's your organs, right? Your organs want things that your organs can process fast and easy, right? And those foods are usually the oldest foods on this earth, plant-based foods, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then your taste buds like things taste good, right? So I kind of compare to like, it's like the taste buds are kind of like the toddlers, you know what I mean? And the organs are kind of like the elders in the game. They've been around the block. They know what they need. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's learning how to reconcile the two, you know? So, so for me, that's why when it comes to like the foods that I eat, I gotta like it. I gotta like how it tastes. If I don't like how it tastes, it's not going to sustain. You know what I mean? So, so that's why for me, I've learned a lot from Sweet Greens on how to like really just like, put the culinary on your salads and just really just make that joint something you like to eat. And y'all, when you get when you get into salads, they're the easiest thing. They're like it's talking about like cheap food prep. You can get what you talking about, like a $5 box of greens, and that's like pretty much like a replacement to rice, or like a starch. You put that, and then you could put whatever. You put a meat on it, you put a vegan meat on it, you put, you know what I'm saying, like whatever. I like to use vegan dressings to stay away from like dairy, like cow dairy. So there's a lot to that. But you could go to town on that joint. You could put, like, I learned from Sweet Greens. Like whatever they do with their salad, I'd be putting that stuff in. One time I had a craving for Chinese food. I don't recommend doing this for a long time. Like maybe one night or so. I had a craving for Chinese food and I had leftovers. So I just put that joint in salads. And part of my body was like, bitch, what the? And then the other body was like, but I like the greens. Eventually I had to stop, but I'm just saying you can combine shit is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. As much as your body will allow.
Gotcha. So I found the book I was telling you about. It's called Eat to Beat Depression and Anxiety. It's by Drew Ramsey, doctor and everything like that. I just plugged that into the comments as well, just in case anybody else is.
Oh, it's in the comments. I was like, where is all this stuff? Now I see everything. Okay.
Yeah, I'm you don't see it, but I'm working on it. Like I'm on it. Yeah, I'm saying. Gotcha.
Oh, now I'm seeing everything. I love this Megan. Thank you, Lucker Warrior.
That's funny. Wait, you didn't see the comments the whole time?
I was in the private chat section, so I was seeing, and then sometimes I would see what would pop up in the screen,
like this and everything.
Like yeah. Stop out with my milk.
Oh, my group chat, they were like, I'm not even kidding, but like right before you jumped in, because I was on with them on FaceTime, they were like in the group chat, they were talking about milk for like literally like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, wait. Like, so no hate. Listen, again, your choice, your body, your choice, right? Just look into certain things about milk. Like here for me, like when I was very young, my mom used to tell me, when you get sick, don't do any dairy, because you'll get sicker. And I'll start finding that later on, that it's just like that dairy has like a certain cow dairy, like has a certain mucus to it that like, so when bacteria or virus comes in, it like sticks to it. Essentially, is kind of how I broke it down. So, and the nurse that came in, the COVID nurse that came in, said the same thing, right? So just be mindful. So for me, sometimes, I'm a schmeeg, so I dabbles a little bit, but but I try not to dabble too much during cold and virus season, because I feel my body being like holding on to stuff a little bit more. So just be mindful, That's all. I think that there are some documentaries too. Just think like the energy behind, like what the dairy process looks like. But I'm not proselytizing or anything like that. So
oh no, you're good.
Do what's right for your body. You know what I mean? But there, there's just some information to like look into as far as like even the energy behind it and the process behind it and stuff like that. That's all.
Gotcha. Okay, so. One thing, so now this is getting towards like the quick hitters of like, usually I ask like my guests like these questions. This kind of lets me know if I like you or not. So this is usually where I hit you with like either this or other, like either or type of questions.
Okay.
So I ask you, what'd she say? I'm judging y'all based on milk choices.
Wait, what's your milk choice?
Me?
No. Okay, no, yes, but also Black Girl Warrior.
I mean, man, you put me on the spot. I just want something to dunk my Oreos in, to be honest. I mean, I don't really have a preference. Like, leave me alone, leave my baby hairs alone. I don't know. What about yours? What are your milk choices?
Let's see. Right now, I'm on this little like almond milk paste, because oat milk is yes. A Karen put me onto oat milk, and I haven't looked back. That joint.
Did you just say a Karen put you on the oat milk?
Yes, and that's very good. It's very nice. It's okay. I like the oat milk. I was on. I didn't mind the flaxseed milk. I was on that for a little bit too. Almond milk's a little thin, but I got this little almond milk paste thing that like lasts for a long time. So I could just add a little water or whatever. So yeah, but oat milk for sure. And flaxseed milk, I would say, is number 2. And now I'm on this almond milk paste. Thank you.
Oh Lord. Okay, so for quick hitters, I feel judged right now, to be honest. So for quick hitters,
No judgment. No judgment.
this is just more so I can see if I like you or not. So flats or drums when we're talking about chicken?
Drums.
Nobody, we don't do flats around here.
Drums.
Like, I saw a meme. It was funny as hell. I said this to my biological mom. Well, I sent it to my sister. She snitched on me to my biological mom. It was the thing. It was like anybody that goes out of their way to eat flats has a smart ass mouth. And I was like, oh.
Wow, connections. Okay, I feel like I've been no flats here. I feel like I think I saw some videos where people were just like crushing down some flats, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I haven't given them the proper attention they deserve. Like, what if it's like they're that kid in the classroom that just never.
You are not about to humanize flat chicken.
What if they're the kid that's got a whole world of imagination and wisdom inside of them?
You better stop
you just been listening to the loudest kids in the room. You know what? You know what, Flash? I will give you a try. And I did about 2-3 weeks ago. And I was like, okay, Flash, you're not.
It's just too much.
You're not bad, but
you got.
Right. It's just a lot of that. Right. Also, for anybody on the vegan side, there's something called drummies. And it's like a little vegan drumstick. They put a little stick and they put the little soy joint around it, and it tastes like chicken and it's real good. It's called drummies. You get it from Everlasting Life and like your vegan supply stores and stuff, and it's really good.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't trust you. You got me to put a do-rag on, and now you're trying to.
I liked your hair before, but I appreciate the solidarity.
I got you. Yes, burn calories trying to eat calories. Work. Like, don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Talk about music real quick. Solange or her?
Why you gonna do that? They're such queens. Like, they're both such queens. Like, oh my gosh.
Yep, I went there.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to really just step into myself on this one. Solange, okay, that how you gonna do this?
My music. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's oof. Can I just say like a couple words about it? I appreciate Solange's exploration into like the realms. You know what I mean? Like that one album, like that whole album was a whole vibe. And like, but I can appreciate the journey she went on even before that. Like, where it's just like she's just really experimenting out here. And it's like, okay, go have your adventures, And then her, one, she's the bae. So that's like heart. You know what I mean? And her, you could tell there's like so much like Lauren influence to her. Like she cares. Like she cares about the world. Like she cares about her community. She cares about like connecting with other artists and spreading love. So I mean, her voice, God, like this woman has worked. I mean, Solange has a gorgeous voice too. I mean, I don't like to compare queens, but I think right now,
just for where you are at. You know what I'm saying?
Right now. Okay. All right. Okay. Right now, I'll say her, but I'll say her for now. But I don't want to do this. This hurts. Okay.
All right, gotcha. You better not get this wrong.
Wait, was that wrong? Was that wrong?
No.
I don't know.
No. This one is a right or wrong answer. If you get this wrong, I might have to block you after this.
Okay, understood.
Popeyes or KFC?
Oh my God. Really? Popeyes. Sorry.
You'd be surprised.
Oh, really?
You'd be surprised. I'm over here like, are you okay? Well,
I mean, it's like, okay, I love the Cajun fries. For me, it's like the popcorn. You get the seafood and the chicken. Like you get the options. You get a menu. You get, you know what I mean, alternatives. And I feel like one of my go-tos is that when I really want some fried food, really want to talk to my liver or something different. You know what I mean? Then it's that popcorn shrimp with the fries. You know what I mean, with the side of mashed potatoes and red beans and rice. Cause I like it all. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what's yours? You didn't say yours. What's yours on Popeyes?
Oh, I don't answer these. I mean, mine are Popeyes, obviously, and her all day. And drums. So
okay. Okay, we're aligned.
I can't. Kid Cudi or Frank Ocean? Yep.
So, okay, let me show you something right quick. Okay, we're gonna talk about it. All right, we're gonna talk about it. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, there it is. This is in my car. Okay, this is in my car. This stays right. I talked to him. Okay, I asked him, "Hey Frank, what would you do in this situation right now?" And then I'll be like, "Frank, do you want to marry me or something?" And Frank's like, "I'm not really into, I don't want to hear all that. I don't know if you've seen my Facebook, but my Facebook actually says I'm in something complicated with Francisco Oceanic. So, but I very much appreciate Kid Cudi. I love Kid Cudi. But it's just like, this is my man's though. Like, you know what I mean? But I love Kid Cudi.
You may not like me after this podcast.
You say Kid Cudi over Frank?
The only reason Frank Ocean keeps lying to me.
No, you're right. I've just had to accept that, you know what, he's dropped his jewels, and that's just what it is. And he's gonna go live his life.
Frank Ocean is like that dad that said, "I'm gonna go get these cigarettes real quick."
So real. Oh my gosh, yo, that's it. I've had to just live with the memories that he gave me.
He keeps leaving me on red.
Yeah.
He keeps I got trust issues. Personally.
Man, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, I don't feel bad either. You know what I'm saying? And Kid Cudi was
still
middle school to high school to he's still here. He shows up. You know what I'm saying?
Frank is just mad. It's just like, yo, that man is just
Nostalgia Ultra is still top 10.
Yo, it's like the artistry. Artistry. It's just like, I just don't that man inspired me in just so many. It's but it's just so. First of all, it's the musicality, right? There's the musicality and just all the subtle influences that he's making this just amazing sound. You know what I mean? And then when you ask him who's his influence, anywhere from Stevie Wonder to fucking Beach Boys and shit, and it's just bro, what? You know what I mean? He's got some Coldplay influence. It's just Frank. Oh God, man, what? And then it's the metaphors. God dang, the double, triple entendres. Bro, what? It's just, yeah, it's
But he keeps leaving you on red.
I've just accepted it. You know what? He gave what he gave, and it's like I remember one time I fell in love with this young buck. Well, he wasn't young, but we're the same age. But they say that.
Oh my
this
God.
This PYT, but and then whenever he would come to visit, he was just this artiste, and he would come to visit, and I'll be like, oh my God, Kill, and then this one time he came to visit. And it was my friend's cousin. She was Kill over. And I was like, oh, what? And I came through and he was on the couch with her friend, all booed up and shit. And I was like, And it hurt my heart, it hurt my soul, right? But but you know what? I walked back to my house, my dorm room at that night, and I said to myself, you know what? I met him, and that's enough. I don't have to possess him. And that's how I feel like with Frank. I don't have to possess you, Frank. I'll put you on my buttons, and I'll keep you right here, okay, my dashboard. You know,
while he's still getting that pack of Newport 100s and
right.
leaving us on red.
Right.
I
don't need the 20, 30 hours.
He owes me Boys Don't Cry. That's all I gotta say.
Oh my gosh.
Owes it.
How long? How long? He has saying that's gonna drop.
Owes me.
Did you get that magazine? What's the magazine?
No, I didn't get the magazine.
No, I didn't get the magazine either. But I mean, it's just like, okay, Frank, go explore, okay? You doing things. It's not what I asked for. It's not what I asked for, but it's cool.
He's Brent Fayez before Brent Fayez. He's toxic, and he just plays with my emotions. I don't like it.
Wait, what's Brent Fayez doing right now? What's Sonder doing right now?
He needs help in prayer. Anyway, so another quick hitter. This is a good one. I never asked anybody this one. And because you're 38 and I don't believe you, Cher or Paula Abdul?
Oh, okay. Off top, Paula Abdul. I mean, like, but do you love me? Do you love me? Come on now. Is it? I don't when you guys. I don't everything. But I'm here to say.
Oh man. Her music is just so timeless.
Yeah. Do you remember Rush? Yes. Oh my gosh, me and my cousin were obsessed with that song. Keanu Reeves like random ass in that video. I was just like, hold on, it's doing things to me right now. I'm too young. What's going on? It was like, what's that? How to go? Rush, hurry, lover, come to me. Rush, I can feel it. I can feel you all through me. What? Paula. Yes, it's Paula.
Gotcha. French toast or pancakes?
Which pancakes? I'm gonna go with French toast, but which pancakes though? Blueberry pancakes.
How about all the pancakes? How about all the pancakes and all the French toast?
I'm gonna go with French toast.
Which one?
Thick French toast. Okay. But if you're talking about thick, fluffy pancakes, but you're gonna have to tell me what you're doing with it. Like, is it eggs? Is there sausage? Do you have organic maple syrup? I don't know. But I don't know what you're working with. And so because I don't know what you're working with, I'm gonna go with the French toast.
Got it. All right.
I hear you though. Pancakes.
You hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. And I saw black array. Yep. Pancakes are life. I get it.
But
it's gotta be done.
French toast.
Well, see, I didn't. My mom. Okay, I'm not gonna speak. No, but we didn't always do the pancakes right growing up. But we did do the French toast right. And then when I had the pancakes that were done right, I was like, oh, this you? Okay. I didn't know.
I didn't know you had it like that.
Right.
I didn't know you got down like that. My bad. I didn't know you picked up your cigarettes on time. My goodness. If you had to give me top 5, we'll go rappers. Okay. Top 5 rappers, East Coast and West Coast. Give them to me. They don't have to be.
Like you want 10?
5 from East, because I know there's a difference. So 5 from the East Coast, 5 from the West Coast. Take your time, Queen.
See, and I should just have a list like just off top ready for these, because every time it's just like I just get into this deep thought and I just be like, okay. So off top. One I do want to shout out. There's an MC named Isabella. and she's from
Okay.
DC, and she's underground, and she just like I found her somehow, and she just did things to my soul that was just like, yeah. So Isabel is always, and she's from DC, so East Coast. Lauren, Nas.
You said Lauren?
Yeah.
You said Lauren? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Nas. I love Black Thought. I love Black Thought. I don't know. Like, not that I don't know. He's gifted, you know. Biggie just like I mean, he's just a master, like, you know what I mean? He just the way just the way he flows with it, it's just so clean. Like, it's just he's just smooth with it. And like, yeah. So like, you know, I think for my runners, I mean, pun is just like crazy too. Pun is crazy too. Did I? What am I? What number am I on?
I think you're at like 5. But
okay, so I'm done. Okay, so I can't throw Pac on there. Okay, that's fine.
That's just East Coast. That's just
East Coast. Yeah. But then there's like old school, right? Like, I love Farside. Like, love Farside. I like the whole vibe, everything of Farside. Like, Tribe as well, right? But okay, yeah. I feel like I'm like, there's gonna be so many I'm like leaving out, but I'm gonna go with there for now. Okay, right. So West. Okay, so I mean, so I moved out to Cali like in my young adult years, and I got put on to a bunch of like just Bay rappers that, so I mean, E40, like that's like that's like E40. I actually love I love the sound of Clyde, my man Clyde. What is his group name? Do you know what I'm talking about? Clyde, I should know them. The team. I love the sound of the team. But I'm gonna say, okay. So and Keek, it's just like Keek got a whole sound that's just like instant Bay, right? It's like you hear Keek and it's just like it's just nostalgia, it's everything, it's Bay. Mac, like Mac Dre, Keek. And now I'm not like a connoisseur. So like there's so much more I have to learn. But I would say, as far as like just hitting that that vibe, that nostalgia, that just like, you know what I mean? It's like, of course, like when Mac Dre hit, when Keek hit, like, you know, when Hyphy hit, when you know, I used to work with Too Short, and you know what I mean? There's
nice.
Like, you know, so like
Too Short.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Yeah, you're 38. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So yeah. But then of course then there's like SoCal, right? So you got Snoop, you know, like my man sweatpants, you know, like that whole vibe, like it's a different vibe. I mean, we're talking about old school, not old school. But you know, if we're talking about the what was that? Was seasoned, the seasoned, right? I'm gonna go with those. I'm gonna go with them right there. Yeah, go with them. I feel like I'm missing. I'm always missing, but I'm gonna go with them. Wait, do I get to hear yours?
I'll do this because mine switch up every once in a while.
Yeah.
So, okay. So no specific order. Jay-Z, Rakim, Jay-Z, Rakim, Biggie, Andre, as in 3 Stacks.
Yeah. But that's South. You said East Coast.
That it's still East. It's not Northeast, it's East.
Okay.
And then because it really switches up. I have to go with Cole. Cole just kind of speaks to me like artistically. I don't know why.
Yeah.
West, no specific order. No specific order. Kendrick,
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Nipsey. I
Yeah.
love Nipsey Hussle. You may not like me for this. Pac is not in my top 5.
It's
I didn't
okay.
grow up on I didn't grow up on Tupac. I just didn't grow up on Tupac. I just
It's okay.
did not.
It's
I
okay.
just did
I
not grow up
know
on
the Bay
Tupac.
would not say that, but it's
That's fine. I don't care.
you know, I think every artist speaks to each person differently, and that's okay.
I just didn't grow. I'm not one of those like fake fans. I've
Right.
never taken the time to like listen to Tupac. I
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah.
That's all. So Kendrick, not any specific order, because if I had to put a specific order, I would probably put Nip on my top.
Yeah.
So Kendrick, Nip, Too Short,
Yeah.
40 is Unk, as you said.
Yeah.
And I gotta put Snoop Double OG.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I gotta
got
put
you
Snoop.
gotta put respect.
I gotta put Snoop.
Yeah.
Snoop, he gets slept on to this day, and I hate it. So
Yeah.
I gotta put Snoop. All right.
Snoop, yeah. Where would we be without Snoop? You know what I mean?
MJ or Prince? Not a wrong answer, because everybody has
Right.
feelings.
For sure. MJ for me, but I respect Prince. But MJ for me.
Okay. If you had to pick Dead or Alive to see perform live, as far as the artist goes,
yeah,
who would
I have
be?
to say, definitely feel both, because I can't. These are all really super hard questions, right? Because these are like legends. These are legends. But since we have to, you know what I mean? But yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying like any artist, any musical artist, dead or alive, you could see perform. Anybody, who would you like to see live in concert?
For real?
Anybody.
Otis.
Matter of fact, I'll be nice. You could pick like 3 artists.
Okay, all right. Otis is my man's. Like, I think I would lose it. I would float out of my body. Like, it would be it would be whole OBE if I was back in time at an Otis Redding concert. Like, what? Yeah, okay, so you said 2 more, right? 3? My brother always said, like, yo, we gotta see the MJ's last like his big tour.
This is it.
He's like, yo, we gotta do it. It's part of history. We gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
But also I was watching this thing about MJ hating tours, like hating them, and you know, I don't want to be there for anybody suffering. You get what I'm saying? So like it's enough for me to get MJ like how I get MJ. You know what I mean? But I'd like, because that's already work that he put in, you know. So, but I think from what I've seen from like Otis concerts is like he is there, like it is passion, like he wants, you know what I mean? He wants to be there, you know. So, Far Side, I love Far Side. Hold on. Oof, Etta James just came in my mind. Yeah, I'm going with old, so like I'm gonna say Etta, Otis. Let's see, third. See, like the one popped in my mind was Jaguar Wright, but I feel like Jaguar has gone through some shit in the industry, and I want her to be there because she wants to be there, you know, because Jaguar, she should have she should have got a lot more than she got, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. What about you?
For me, sleeper. Not a lot of people know about this dude, Calvin Owens. The like Houston like bluesman. I love the blues. I'm taking me and my peoples to DC. We're hitting a jazz lounge. I don't care. Calvin Owens. Oddly enough, I don't want to see Michael Jackson perform live. I don't know why. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
It's probably because you felt
Um,
that interview, he said he doesn't like them.
I think it's because I know the trauma he went through with his
Yeah.
dad. I
Yeah.
just, um, Beyonce though, I would love to see live. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I would love to see Beyonce live because
Yeah.
she's probably, as far as performers go,
Yeah.
she's there.
Yeah.
So that's 2. And just because I missed the tour, I want to see, even though he's kind of off his rocker right now, I would love to see Watch the Throne, as in Jay-Z and
Oh,
Kanye.
yeah.
I missed that tour. I don't
Yeah.
know what Kanye's doing. He's kind of bugged right now, but
Right.
that's
Oh, and I just thought, since you mentioned Beyonce, I gotta throw Riri in there. That would be nuts. That would be nuts.
oh yeah.
That would be nuts. Like that woman is a performer. That would be nuts. So yeah, so I'm gonna say Otis, Etta, Riri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does not, I don't think people know about, I think it's because she's so caught in the shadow of like Beyonce. I don't think people know about the professionalism and the work ethic she has. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I think it's out of this world.
Yeah.
And then my last 2 questions. 5 people you can have dinner with, dead or alive.
5 people I'd have dinner with?
Yes.
Hmm. Gosh, I feel like I'm just learning more and more about people that wow, you're amazing. Like I never know about you, So like, um, hmm. Okay. So there's so one, if you heard of the ghost dance movement? No.
You said gold stance?
No, it's something called the ghost dance movement, and I've just been really called to um to know to not know. I don't have to know because I'm not, like we don't have to like Karen and shit. You know what I mean? Like just like some things you just not that's not it's not for you to, you know what I mean? But I would say um Sitting Bull was like I think he was considered like the leader of the ghost dance movement.
Mhm.
And so I don't know. So, like, but I like sorry. Okay, I should just this should be quicker. Okay, so
Take your time. Take your time. Take
um
your time.
Malcolm. Malcolm. Um I mean it's enough for me to just hear him speak.
Mhm.
There are questions that I have for like Mandela because he keeps popping up in my mind, right? Um Also I think Celia Cruz would be fun as shit. Like oh my god. Like like yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna go there.
That was like, I think that was 4. You got
Oh
1
gosh.
more from you got 1 more for me.
Oh, I thought it was 3. Oh, okay.
No, you got no, you got 5. That's you plus the other 5. So 5 people and you.
Oh, okay. So
Not me. I'm not at this dinner. Like, you're good. I'm
oh
excluded.
my gosh. Okay, so I have
I
hmm.
appreciate the invite though. That was sweet of you, but yeah,
Oh.
this is your dinner. So yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Ooh, Patrice Lumumba. Absolutely. Patrice Lumumba. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
all right. And my
Oh
last
gosh, did I mention I'm sorry, I forgot Fred Hampton. Okay, sorry. Okay.
all good, all good.
Okay.
And my last question, this is not exactly the most important. If you would like to see me interview somebody else, whether it's somebody you know, somebody you're friends with, creative wise, or just, I don't know, your mailman, I don't know. If you like to see me interview somebody on the Kid Casper podcast, who would it be? But your answer has to be somebody you can make happen, as
Happen.
far as bring on here as a guest?
Oh, that I can make happen. Who I would, like already some like artists that I know that I think have some dope perspective, and stories that they come from. Like Rob Brown comes to mind. Way the Hero comes to mind. So there's a these two kids called Growing Up Mutants. Like that's their name on like TikTok and Instagram, and they are hilarious. And their dad is just like a really dope editor, and just love. And they're just out here creating content, and just like it's like you could tell he's like they have fun, and then they still be on the knowledge too. So I would say those three: Growing Up Mutants, Rob Brown, and Way the Hero.
All right. Well, Preshona, Mama P, I need a birth certificate. Thank you for coming by today. I'm happy I was able to make this happen. It's been a pretty turbulent week, but this was I don't head into any interview with any expectations because I don't want to end up disappointed. But I thought this was good. I thought this was dope, insightful. What's
Am I making a face? Is it me?
I don't know. I don't know what she
Am I making a face?
I hope it's not me.
I'm right past my bedtime. I don't know.
I was about to say, like, nigga,
it was me. It was me. What was I doing?
It's probably me. Like, nigga, this is my face. I don't know.
No, you were talking. It had to be me.
Oh, me. What the hell are you talking about? Oh my God, shut up. But anyway, my sister, this was dope. This was leave me alone. This is my podcast. I will put you in time out. Like, my goodness. But my sister, thank you for coming by today. This was dope.
Yes.
This is even though this is my podcast, you're welcome back here anytime. You know what I'm saying? You could always hit me up anytime. We're mutuals and everything like that. I pretty much adopt everybody I talk to and everything like that. So but one I forgot to ask this. What are we to expect from you in the future? Do you have any projects coming out? Do you have anything up and coming that you're working on that you would want us to like kind of like stay on the lookout for? What is it?
I love you back. Like, were you black? I said black girl. It's getting late. I'm always working on series. So if you check out that YouTube playlist link, there's like an actual history series I'm working on where, I'm talking about the actual history of the states by groups. So like I have the First Nation chapter out, and these are just shorts. They're like 15 to 20 minutes. So if you want to get like an actual depiction of like if you piece all together, I'm working on African American history, which is a doozy. Like that's probably going to be at least 2 or 3 videos, but yeah, I want to take it through so that like there's that series. If you go on the playlist, there's so much. If you want to learn some Swahili, that's on there. If you want to like learn how to decolonize science, I'm working on that series. I have a little sitcom. Yeah,
that sounds interesting. Decolonize science.
Yes. Wow. Right. Yes. It's dope. It's magical. I'm just, like I know you like those two are supposed to not go hand in hand, but they do. It's like it's really dope. But and then I'm working on this like sitcom series about like the lives of like me and my friends, kind of like a melanated Seinfeld, I guess, or something. So that should be, that's been my baby for a couple years now. And so look out for that one coming out. I'll probably post it on TikTok as well on the socials. But yeah, check out the YouTube playlist. Yeah, what I say, Swahili, I said, yeah, all the things. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, check it out. And drop comments, share it if you like any videos, if they taught you something, and let's add the knowledge.
Oh yeah, we support each other around here. You know what I'm saying? When you win, I win. When I win, you win. We need to support 100%. Each other as creators.
Grow glow for real. Grow and glow on some genuine shit, y'all. And everybody here on the chat, If y'all on TikTok, if you're on TikTok, you're on TikTok.
Oh Lord.
I will follow you back. You know, all the love, all the growth, yo. And any links, anything that y'all working on too, please. I super believe in community, and that's a mutual thing.
All
It's
right.
late.
Yeah, it's 12:43 over here on the East Coast. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm completely not coming back here tomorrow. I am going to the beach. I need to go recharge.
Get the
Yeah,
microphones.
I'm going to this place my boy told me about. It's you lived in Maryland at one point. I'm going to, what is this bullshit? I mean stuff. Let me see this garbage. Assateague Island. You know
You're going to Assateague tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yo, what? For real? The horses, the island with the wild horses.
Nigga, what? Hold up.
You didn't know that?
I've never been there.
Yes, Assateague is known. It's the island of the wild horses. There are wild horses there. That's one of my bucket lists. So like me and my friend been beach hopping this summer. So Assateague was one of the ones that's been on my list for a while. But yes, wild horses. That's what they say. Yeah, the do-rag coming off for this one. Yes.
No. Hell no. You know what they used to do with horses to us? Like, no.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wild.
Well, just think about but think about the freedom though. Think about the freedom. You know, they're not chained to nothing, to nobody. They're just living their lives.
But I'm not free yet. Like
on an island.
It might make me sad. I'm not free yet. Like I don't know. I just also one of my I'm just gonna put them on blast. One of my thirsty cousins named Punchy said, "What does she brush her teeth with?" Apparently you have some white teeth, and I'm like, why don't you? I was like, that's a bad question to ask anybody on the internet. I feel like if you have to ask what,
no, it's fine. Listen. I'm here for the questions.
Toothpaste. It's
right now. Okay, so I know a lot of folks will say like the organic stuff. I haven't gotten there yet, just because like certain organic toothpaste that I've used.
It's not about all that. Just brush your damn teeth. I mean, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I haven't felt that same clean. So right now I am still using like fluoride toothpaste, like I think it's Crest or something, but only because like the research that I've seen is that if you eat processed foods, so sometimes I'll eat like Beyond Burger, stuff like that, then like some more processed toothpaste might be better. So I'm still figuring out my toothpaste game, but right now that just feels the cleanest. So yeah, so that and some mouthwash.
Just your damn I want to hear all that. Thank everybody for tuning in today. You have made me take my do-rag off. Wow. What in the hell?
Yes.
Thank you. Oh God.
If anybody wants to do a trip, listen, I'm down for it.
Pray for me. So
send me pictures.
Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. This was great. This was fruitful, insightful. Please check my sister out, Preshona. Mama P apparently is what the kids call her and everything like that. Always remember you are beautiful, blessed, and beloved. Raisins don't go on potato salad. Mayonnaise do not go in peas. I'm gonna keep saying it. It's really weird, and you don't gotta believe in Jesus, but stop putting mayonnaise in your peas. It's disgusting. Oh, and Jesus wasn't white. Have a good night. Good Lord.
That's right.